Hello. What the hell? I always get myself mixed up on the camera. What's up? You want to see me get mixed up on the cam? Scene is probably not gonna be right. That's pretty close. It's actually not bad. I gotta pull this over a little bit. There we go. And now the things should line up. Yes. Indubitably they do. Bitably. Okay. Switch back over to full screen for a sec-ski. How we doing, everybody? How we feeling? Surprise stream? Yes. Yes. That's exactly what this is. It reminds me. I don't know if you guys watch Dan Soder. The stand-up comedian. He is super funny. I'm trying to figure out how to pop out the chat. There it is. Will it work? We will see. Let me switch back over. Wait, now I'm super confused. Can you guys see the chat? Shit. Wait, now I'm super confused. Hold on a second. My brain's like short-circuiting. Okay, I think we're good. You can see the... Oh, the chat's a little off. That's why it's messing with me. There we go. Then I'll put that there. And then I will drop this down. Fold this up. Perfect. Okay, should be able to see chat and stuff now. Let me know if we sound okay. Can you hear the music? Is the music too loud? Is the music muted? Music's muted. Let me know if you can hear that music. Or if it's too loud. Anikicardia 8279. What's going on? And 3 Hohen. How you doing today, guys? We feeling okay? Is everything looking okay on this stream? And 3 Hohen. Whoa. How you doing today, guys? Anike. What's going on? Anike. What's going on? Music still muted? It must just not be turned up. Can you hear that now? Can you hear that now? There we go. I can hear the music now. It was quiet. Okay. So everything looks like it's looking okay and sounding okay. Cool. Set this over here. Oh, I hate when my phone does that. Do you guys ever have those moments where you almost do something stupid and it like makes you panic the idea of having done that stupid thing? Last night I was sitting here. I have a bad habit of flicking bottle caps and then like punching them out of the air. It's just like a weird physical stim I do. It's one of my stim. No, it's not. It's actually just a fucking stupid thing I do. And I broke a TV once because of it. And I was like so disappointed in myself. So I try not to do it as much anymore. It like kicked on last night. I was sitting there and I was like, flicked it and it went right over the top of my brand new monitor. And I was like, oh, you've got to cut that shit out right then, dude. It was so, I was like, you're such an idiot, dude. That could have been so much worse for you. Okay. This is not the deck. I was just checking over there. Okay, surprise stream. Kind of a surprise stream. A little bit. I'm gonna hop on because I am working on some scripts. Just putting the final touches on them so I can start recording them in the next couple of days. But I was looking at the decks that I built for these videos. And there's just some that are stronger than other ones, and there's some that I just quite haven't ironed out the kinks for yet. And I thought you guys would be a huge help at figuring out how to kind of make some of these decks run a little bit smoother, balance them out compared to each other a little bit, while like also staying within some of the price stipulations I set for them. So we're just gonna kind of go through that today and just chill out, suggest some cards, see if we can tweak these decks to make them look a little better, perform a little better. We're gonna start with the 4-deck package that's gonna be a part of the $30 like power on a budget video that's coming out later this week. We've got 4 decks for it, and yeah, I just kind of need help dialing in some of them, making some of them run a little bit more strong. I'll let you know what each deck needs while we go through them. Starting with the Powerhouse Noctis deck. So this is the $30 Noctis list that I have. What's interesting about this one is I went more of an artifact life gain build. So the sub theme here is life gain, seeing that Noctis has lifelink and seeing that you pay 3 life to pay or play artifacts from the graveyard for him. It seemed just good in my eyes to have lifelink to just not only recoup this, but also his lifelink plays into the whole life gain aspect anyway. So if we want to go through this really quick, just to kind of give you like broad strokes, we've got some artifact synergy cards like Kappa Cannoneer, like Golbez, Thousand Moon Smithy, tons of draw cards right here. We got a 13 card life gain package. This is going to be all of our main ways of gaining life. Life gain interaction, we've got Dawn of Hope, Golem to make them drain life equal to when we gain it. Same with this Kappa. Drag Skull draws us cards whenever we gain life. Excalibur will make our commander bigger when we gain life. Starscape will drain opponents when we gain life. So we got the little life gain interaction. Ramp, removal. Of course, we've got removal like Dispeller's Capsule, Executioner's Capsule, Unstable Obelisk, so we can use them twice with our commander, hopefully. Noxious Gear Hulk. We got a couple of remove counter theme cards, because when our commander brings back an artifact from our graveyard, it comes back with a finality counter on it. And seeing as a lot of our artifacts are artifact creatures, being able to remove the counter from, I guess it doesn't matter if they're creatures, but it's still extra nice if they're creatures because we'll be able to sack creatures easier. It's nice to be able to remove counters, so you can just like completely remove the finality aspect of it and just keep cycling cards like Noxious Gear Hulk in and out of grave. So like Soul Diviner removes a counter to draw a card. Same with Oka. Moxite makes you, or gives 1/1 counters by removing counters from stuff, which seems pretty fucking good. Sack artifacts, we got like a little sack artifact package so that we can put artifacts in the graveyard to reuse them again, like Noxious Gear Hulk, Meteor Golem, stuff like that. Board wipes, we've got destroy all non-artifact creatures and then austere command. This one, I think it has like a good idea, good concept, it's got good bones, but I need your guys' help making it run a little better. So let's run like a little play test just so I can show you how it is running right now. So we're gonna start a new hand here. I think that is keepable. It's definitely risky, but I do think it's keepable. We'll start the game, play Swamp, pass. There we go, got our blue. Pay a Tainted Field, play Dispeller's Capsule. Comes back around to play our 3rd land and a Foundry Inspector. So artifacts cost 1 less. Pass back around. See, like, I guess right now we could just go ahead and play Noctis because he's a 4/3 lifelink, and then we can just use Dispeller's Capsule twice. But like, I just need help like working out the kinks. You know what I mean? The deck just feels a little clunky when I try to play it, and I'm just not 100% sold on it. So if there's anything you guys think I'm missing, there are links to all these decks down in the description. This is the Noctis link. And we're trying to stay $30. This one's $30.45, but that price keeps fluctuating to like above and below 30, like every hour. What do you think the winning board would look like with the list you have now? See, that's a perfect question because I'm not exactly sure. I think like a winning board with the list I have now, I guess, is having enough control pieces in play, like the Dispeller's Capsule, or like the Executioner's Capsule, or like Unstable Obelisk, to like be able to control the board hard enough to then let some of my life gain interaction, like Viscopa Guildmage, or like Golem, or Excalibur attached to my commander win the game. But again, I'm not 100% sure if that's a good enough win con. Like, Kappa Cannoneer's good to, like, maybe bring home a game. But I guess just, like, value / control to, like, help me get to a board state where one of these big explosive life gain pieces can win us the game. Or a big commander thanks to, like, the frying pan. Or maybe a big commander thanks to Excalibur. That's, like, what comes to my mind. But again, I don't know if any of that is necessarily good enough, or if not good enough, I don't know if the deck's built to, like, push us there, you know what I mean? I would say our win state is, like, big commander with frying pan or Excalibur to then interact with, like, our big life gain interaction pieces to, like, drain life or just get a ton of value. And again, staying around the $30 budget is a little tough. So, like, if we're looking at, like, test hands here, we've got, like, I don't know if you guys can see the test hand. Let me look at the stream really quick to make sure. Okay, you guys cannot. You can see most of it, though. It's just cutting off that last card. That's okay. 3 lands, Chalice of Life, Well of Lost Dreams, Golem, Deadly Dispute. Like, that seems like a pretty decent hand, actually. That was another thing that I think is a good way to bring home a game, is Chalice of Life, the backside, like tapping it to have a player lose 5 life. That seems pretty good, actually. How many charge counter synergies do you have? Moxite Refinery seems slow, even though you mainly have it to remove counters. Yeah, I don't have any charge counter synergy, I don't think. It's literally just to remove the finality counter off of our stuff we bring back with our commander. But if you think Moxite Refinery is not worth it, and just keeping, like, Soul Diviner and Okar or whatever, just because they both are, like, draw car engines, I could see that. I don't think, like, going from 3 to 2 is going to be, like, crazy, and it opens up a deck slot, so I'm definitely for that. So we'll move this to considering. That's super cool, you can do that. I can never use that, or, yeah, I never use that on this website for some reason. Okay, so we got 1 card out of here. That'd be a good place to start, is making us some room in this deck for, like, some more suggestions. So, like, we've got 7 pieces of artifact synergy. I guess we'll just go through some stuff. Alba Head Salvagers, 2 and a black, 2/3. Whenever this creature or another creature or artifact you control dies, target opponent loses 1 and you gain 1. Like, creature or artifacts, like Blood Artist for us. I feel like it's pretty good with, like, stuff going in and out of grave. Yeah, I like the draw engines more than Moxite because it's really worth 2 mana to be able to recycle the 3 mana artifacts again. Yeah, I agree. I think that actually is a good takeout. Albed seems great. It interacts with creatures and artifacts. Like, that's going to be what's cycling in and out of our graveyard. So this is Artifact Aristocrats. See, that's why I'm careful about these cards, because I don't want it to be Artifact Aristocrats, really. I don't know what exactly I want it to be, though. Like, I want it to be... I guess Artifact Aristocrats is pretty cool. But we got to keep it around $30, though. So if we can get some Artifacts Aristocrats going for under $30, I think that's a cool way to go with it. Because we also have, like, whenever another artifact comes into play under your control, you can pay 1, target player loses 1, we gain 1. When another artifact you control enters, surveil 1, tap X artifacts, target opponent loses X. Whenever an artifact enters. So, like, artifacts ETBing and artifacts dying, and then that looping in and out of graveyard to accumulate value. So yeah, like an Artifact Aristocrat build. That is kind of cool. Because I was thinking more like Creature Aristocrat, but if we're leaning artifacts, there are probably some cool options for that. Let's see if we can update the cheapest. We saved 9 cents. So if we are leaning Artifact Aristocrats for around $30, what would we suggest here? Like, how much are the Marionette things? Marionette Apprentice and Master are both $1. I feel like we could those could definitely make the cut. We can find some room for those too, because those are both going to be great in here. What are some more Artifact Aristocrat pieces? Whenever artifact dies. Organized by EDH Rec. Oh, it's a live stream. Thought it was a vid. What's up, Yorsum? How you doing, my guy? I'm gonna need your help specifically at some point during this live stream. I'm gonna need your expertise for one of these lists. I'm sure you'll have tons of suggestions. Okay, so we're trying to figure out. I don't like Scrap Taller, and I know that's probably like the stupidest opinion. Every time I try to work it or use it, I'm just like, ugh. Oh yeah, Emery. That's a great suggestion. Emery is fantastic in here, and it's 47 cents. I'm suffering working off site. It's going slowly, and I haven't eaten yet. Oh damn. I'm sorry. That's no fun. You didn't end up getting called in the other day, though? That's kind of nice. That doesn't help right now, Yorsum. But past Yorsum was living large. Disciple of the Vault. Hey, Disciple of the Vault's a great one. We got the marionettes in here. Disciples are a super good one. I always forget how you do Disciple. Is it D-E-S-I-P? I swore it was that. What is it then? D-I-S-C-I-P-L-E. I swore that's what I spelled. Maybe it wasn't. I must have messed. Maybe it wasn't. I must have messed it up. It didn't come up. Disciple of the Vault's great. What's the... I think it sacks creatures now that I'm thinking about it. The one that lets you look at the top 2 of an opponent's library and then put one in exile and then the other on top or something like that. That seems pretty good. I'll be back. Gotta hit the road, unfortunately. You're good, 3Hoen. Thanks for the suggestion, my guy. Disciple. Thought Picker Witch. Yeah. Thought Picker Witch. Yeah, I like Thought Picker Witch. And a lot of our artifacts are artifact creatures that we can use to cycle in and out of graveyard. Or ideally they are. So if we've got any artifact creature suggestions that'll be able to like cycle in and out of graveyard, I think those will be very good in this list as well. That's so fun. I actually had Thane in the list last night and I ended up taking him out. But since you said that, I will definitely... See? He literally is a part of one of the tags already when I add him. Yeah. Remove finality. Thane. I ended up taking him out. But yeah, you're right. It has a sack creature and a sack artifact attached to it. And it's just like a little loop engine. Definitely. Where was the sack artifact group at? Oh, right here. I gotta put Thane in there. Oh, yeah. Okay. Type artifact. Type creature. I think you can do like ID. Like white, or no, white, blue, black. Hey, cool. I want some like death triggers on some artifact creatures or some ETBs. Who's the Mander and what's the game plan here? The commander is Noctis. And me and 3Hoen have decided that it's going to be like an aristocrat artifact deck. So the idea is going to be like running artifacts and artifact creatures that have like powerful ETBs or death triggers to then like sack and loop them in and out of graveyard with Noctis. But I really like the idea of having like a life gain sub-theme like in the deck, because there's some really strong stuff you can do, like putting Excalibur on your commander seems really good. The Wind Crystal seems great. Field Tested Frying Pan. I think there's a lot of cool stuff you could do. What about like, man, what if we don't go life gain and we go like Blink? What if we go like Artifact, Aristocrat, Blink? I don't know if we have the budget though, because it's a $30 list. What's the rationale behind the Dancer's Chakrams? Commander's already has lifelink. Fair. Well, I guess I was thinking that it just made a 1/1 that you would put that onto. Oh, but yeah, I did. I guess I thought it just gave other creatures. It says other commanders you control. Yeah, we can cut that one. I agree. Teysa to double death trigger seems great. Which Teysa is it? It's not Envoy. It might be Teysa Karlov. Opulent Oligarch. I think it's Teysa Karlov. Yes, okay. Yeah, that seems really good in here. We need like really good artifact creatures that have ETB and death triggers. So let me look through this really quick. Thought Monitor seems great. That affinity and then ETB to draw 2 cards seems pretty good. Marlin. Garlov. You're an Esper, so clues would be prevalent. Yeah, I don't know if I want to lean too much into clues though. You know what I mean? Like a few cards would be good, but I don't know if I want to, because right now I'm thinking the main thing I want to do is Artifact Aristocrats with like a life gain sub theme. Is what I'm thinking right now. Esper Sphinx. The one with like flying lifelink death touch and all that. I think I actually had that one in here too. What's that one called? Mirror Battlesphere is not bad, but 7 is really steep. Wormcoil Engine's great, but it's $8. Yeah, that's what I need you guys' help with. How do we make this deck work? What are you thinking? What's your honest opinion here? Aethersworn Sphinx, Enigma Sphinx could be fun. Magister Sphinx. Ooh, Aethersworn Sphinx seems great. Love that. Because you cast out a graveyard with your commander, right? Yeah, okay, then we need that other card too. We need the class that makes spells cost less when you cast them from anywhere but your hand. What's that one called? I think it's a class, if I'm not mistaken. Wizard class? No, not wizard class. Which one is it? You guys know what I'm talking about? The blue class, you can level it up. It lets you play stuff for 2 cheaper when it's not from your hand. Secrets of the Dead to draw when you cast from yard. Secrets of the Dead. What is these? 2 and a blue enchantment. Whenever you cast a spell from your graveyard, draw a card. Yeah, straightforward. I like that. Oh, what was it? Fortune Teller's talent. Thank you. Yes, that seems great in here. At level 3, spells you cast from anywhere other than your hand cost 2 less to cast. That seems really good in here. Look at the top card of your library. You may cast the top card of your library. As long as you cast a spell this turn. Yeah, this seems great. With all of our like small artifacts we can cast out of grave with our commander too. That seems really good. Can you do this as many times as you want? Yeah, you can. It's really good. Yeah, those are both great. Is there anything similar to that where you get to cast stuff? Actually, let me look at my little rough draft list for Emmett Selch, because I think there's probably some stuff in here that would be good. Yeah, fortune tellers is about the only one here. Yo, how does one submit a list for you to go through? We do deck reviews on Friday night here on the channel at 8 o'clock. If you, all you have to do be a Patreon member or a YouTube member, and like the lowest member tier is $1. So if you want to throw me $1 for the month, you'll see a little deck submission form over on those, and you can fill that out, and it'll submit it to me directly. And I'll check out your deck once it gets to you in the queue, which should be relatively quickly. Check out the other Sphinxes. What was it? Enigma Sphinx and Magister Sphinx. I do like this one. Did we put Aether Sword in here? No. I like that one a lot. A Sphinx. Is that not what that Sphinx was called? Aether? My brain ain't braining today. Okay. And the other one was Enigma Sphinx. 4 white, blue, black, 5/4 flying. When Enigma Sphinx is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, put it in the top of your library, third for the top, cast it. Ooh. Ooh, I like that. I like this. Because with our artifact reduction spells too, this could easily come out for like 1 in Esper, and that's like easily doable to cycle in and out of graveyard. Yeah, I like that. Okay, Enigma Sphinx. You are going into the deck. Magister Sphinx. I think we already did that one, didn't we? Let me just make sure here. No. 4 Esper, 5/5 flying. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent's life total becomes 10. Yeah, that could be a win condition in here. Yikes. Yeah, that's pretty gross, actually. Vega the Watcher and Osgood for non-hand cost reduction. Vega the Watcher and Osgood. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, draw a card. Seems really good in here. Yeah, that's a great card. Actually, I wish that was in Sultai colors. I'd run that in Taval in like a minute. Nor Osgood. This girl? Big is really good though. I like that. Sharding Sphinx. Oh, that's the one that makes Thopters. I'm not a big fan of that one. This one just kind of like every time I play it, it's just like it gets hated off the table immediately. But that might be a good reason to run in a deck where I can bring it back and potentially remove the finality counter and force it onto the table. I've convinced myself, and you have convinced me. Nor Osgood. I think that's who you're talking about. When you cast a spell, create a token that's a copy of it, except it isn't legendary. Add colorless, spend this mana only to cast artifact spells. Like, okay. Oh, we get a copy of it. And whenever you cast a thing from anywhere other than your game or a hand to draw a card, that's really good. Osgood. That's as good as it gets, dude. Gotta put that in. Osgood. Okay, we're gonna move to the next deck. We're not done with this one though. I'm just gonna kind of cycle through them a little bit like this throughout the day, because we got a lot of decks to cover. Okay, so the next deck we're gonna look at. keep your suggestions. Open a little note tab. Keep your suggestions for that one. The next one is a $30 powerhouse Azula. That's right, Yorsum. That's right. That's why I needed you in this fucking live stream right now. So our next $30 powerhouse deck for the video this week is gonna be Firelord Azula. I'm gonna need your help spicing this boy up with some of your tech, any tech options. We'll see if we already got him. If we don't, I will find a way to get him in here. All the lightning cards. I have lightning bolt and I have lightning. whatever the other one is. I think they're in my removal. I've got Lightning Strike and Lightning Bolt. What other ones do we need? Just send me all the suggestions, dude. We've got a ton. We got 23 buff spells for combat to do massive one hits with Fire Lord Azula. Playtested all 4 of these $30 decks against each other, and Fire Lord Azula smoked the Abzan deck like so quickly. It was the only one that was open, and then I was like, okay, I'll do this one. Oh, it gets +3/+1. Oh, it gets 2 actually, so it gets +6/+2. Oh, and it gets +1/+0 and double strike. Oh no, +2/+0 and doubles. Oh, he's dead. And then I was like, this is pretty strong. I need some suggestions on this bad boy. Sharding Sphinx, all the lightning cards. Rip, I'm not home, and my Azula list isn't on Mox Field. LOL. Oh, you're good, my guy. You're good, my guy. Anything that comes to mind, just let me know. How many creatures do you normally use in your decks? Well put. I don't really have like a uniform number of creatures I use in my deck. It depends on what the strategy is. Like Azula is a spell slinger deck, so like I guarantee I don't have many creatures in here. Yeah, I have 8 creatures. But my Taval deck runs like 32 creatures because it's a reanimator. I always say it like that. Just be putting in stuff like Titanic Strength, Fist of Flames. Let's see if we've got those. No, I don't have Titanic Strength, or at least I don't see it. I have Fist of Flames. That one, 'cause I remembered that one specifically from you when I was building this deck. Literally. I was thinking about it and I was like, oh, what was that one card Yorsham said was busted in this list? And then I was like, oh, it's literally that one. Giant Strength? No, that's a +2/+2 at enchantment speed. Lots of cantrips. Trying to alpha strike peeps. Oh yeah, true. Cantrips are really important. I didn't even think about that. Okay, so color, or no, ID, blue, black, red, and then Oracle. No, type instant. Oracle plus Oracle draw. That should help us. Levon. Oh, is she the girl that stops? Oh. Yeah, Levon's gross in here. That's actually a really gross one in here. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, target creature gets +X/+0 or X that spell's mana value. Yuck. That's actually gross as hell. Okay. Let's see. EDH ranking here. We've got Might of the Meek. Target creature you control gains trample until end of turn. No, we don't need that one. Discard a card. We don't need that either. Balduvian Rage draws us a card at the beginning of the next. Mind Splice Apparatus. Oh, yeah. Make our instants and sorceries cheaper. Isn't that what that one does? Come on, Mind Splice Apparatus. Where are you? There we go. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Spell sling for days with that bad. Oh yeah, this is a funny. My brother just sent me this meme earlier. It made me laugh.
Yeah, you guys fucking suck at your job. I'm gonna come down there and beat the fuck out of you, you fucking stupid bitch. All right, I'll be down in 10 minutes. Get ready. You better start stretching. I'm gonna fucking wear you out, dumbass. Yeah.
Fucking wear you out, dumbass. I was just talking to Tyler about Luffy talking to Big Mom over the shell, and I was like, he literally is just like, hey, bring more candy. Your candy production sucks, dude. Get more candy, bitch. And then he's like, I found this meme and sent it to me, and I was like, I told you, dude. That's literally how Luffy talks to Big Mom. First day of class. That's a good suggestion. Ooh. Nah, it's not as good as I thought it was. Oh wait, what's this one do? First day of class. 1 red instant whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control this turn. Put a 1/1 counter on it and it gains haste until end of turn. Learn. That's not terrible. You play it before you play your commander, and then your commander will just enter with a 1/1 and haste. But doesn't she already have haste? Or does she not have haste? No, she doesn't have haste. She has firebending. I don't know, it's pretty good. What do you think, Yorson? What does our resident Azula player think about it? Case of the ransacked lab. Two in a blue, instants and sorceries cost 1 less to cast. If you cast 4 or more instants and sorceries this turn, you've solved it, and whenever you cast instant or sorcery, draw a card. Yeah, that's great in here. Now that's gonna be, excuse me. There we go. If we're heavy into young Peasy effects, then first day of class is good. Oh, I don't think I run any of the turn tokens into creatures effects in here. Yeah, I don't, because another deck in this list is it token themed, and this one's more like, is it like Voltron beat them down with Azula themed. Bonus round. 1 and 2 red, a sorcerer. Ooh, $4. It's not gonna meet the budget. Try to stay on $30 for this one. I don't think we'll be able to squeeze that one in. Ovika? It's not Ovika. Ovika is in the list though. Ovika is in the list though. What else are we thinking here? Like, is it worth it to run a Blackblade Reforged in here? No, I don't know why I keep thinking Azula has firebending equal to her power. She has firebending too. Nice to catch you live. I recently discovered that when a battle gets defeated, you get to cast it backside. Wouldn't that be insane with Azula? I think Invasion of Arcevios would be broken. You can only use her mana and her effect while she's attacking. So you'd have to flash those effects in. You'd have to flash the battles in to get copies of them. But let me check. Maybe one of those is busted on the backside though. Invasion of Arcevios. Three and 2 blue, 7. When Invasion of Arcevios enters the battlefield, search your library, graveyard, or outside the game for an instant or sorcery card, and reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle. When it flips, it's an enchantment. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery card from your hand, you may copy. No, that's great. That's actually really good. Once you get that flip, we just get to copy all of our spells that we're spamming into play. And plus, it's just a tutor for spells. It is a 5-drop. And a lot of our spell reduction, or all of our spell reduction, is for instants and sorcery, so we're probably going to have to hardcast this. I still think that's pretty good, though. I'm going to keep it here. Because I do think that's pretty good. Oh, no, their backside is cast for free when defeated. Oh. So that is still during combat. I get what you're saying, because when we defeated, Azula's still technically attacking when it gets defeated, so it comes back in, and we have to cast it when it comes back in, so that's technically us casting a spell. So then we get 2 of those backsides when it comes back in. Big brain. It takes me a second. My wheels turn a little bit slower than Marco's over here. That's really good. Those are cracked in here. Invasion of Kara. Or no. Autocorrect, you said? Karsus? Karsus, yep. What's that one do? 2 and 2 red for a 4 power, or 4 health, whatever. Invasion. Whenever Invasion of Karsus enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. And she's a 4/4, right? She's a 4/4. Love that. And then when she flips, she turns into a 4/4. Whenever you cast a spell, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. Those are both cracked in here. I knew going live was gonna help with these, dude. I'm always missing something. And it's the community spice. We're missing a little community spice. Yeah, precisely. Wouldn't you get 2 copies? I'm pretty sure you would. I'm like 99% sure that you would. Let me look it up. I feel like that's probably something someone's looked up. Azula and battles. Azula goes through tons of battles throughout the Avatar show. Oh, shut up. Oh, here we go. If I'm attacking with Azula and defeat a battle, do I copy the backside of the battle, or after damage is dealt, does that not count as the combat? You are casting the backside face of the DFC. The spell copy from Azula will also be on its back face. The siege trigger will generally happen in the combat damage step. A creature is still attacking until the end of combat step ends. An attacking creature is attacking until you exit combat into post-combat main phase, or whatever other phase you might be queued up. So if you cast the backside and she is still attacking during the damage step, you will cast the backside of the battle and copy it. Ooh. Very cool. Good shit, Marco. That's actually like super fucking smart. I also threw one fling in here because why not? We get her big enough? Why not? Any other tech we got for this one? I mean, like, we gotta check out the other invasions, right? Yeah, I'm gonna assume you guys already were up to date on what I needed for that one. Psychotic Fury. Yeah, I actually spelled psychotic right. Holy shit, things are looking up. Psychotic Fury, 1 in a red, instant. Target multicolored creature gains double strike until end of turn. Draw a card. Yeah. Tainted Strike. Ooh, gross. Tainted Strike's very, very nuts in here. Leap. Does Leap draw you a card? It does draw you a card. I never noticed that. Shadow Rift. Shadow Rift. Target creature gains shadow, draw a card. Hell yeah, take that. Is Azula always lies too thematic to cut? Doesn't seem like it does much. That's literally the only reason it's in here, Annie. That's quite literally the only reason. Like, I was thinking the same thing, because I'm like, it's not the best card. But thematically, Azula always lies, dude. I don't know if we can let that slide. Surge of Victory. There's certain words you look up in Magic, and like 1 or 2 cards will pop up. And it blows me away. Surge is not one of those words, apparently. But every now and then I'll look up a card on Scryfall and just type in like the first word and be like, oh, we'll have to look through a few options. And it's the only card that pops up. And I'm like, that's crazy. It's like when I type in Sun Tit to get Sun Titan. And then Sundering Titan pops up alongside it. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, I typed in like 90% of Sun Titan. And it still came up with another card. Surge 2 Victory. Wow. You really got to go deep with this one, too. Surge to Victory. Where did that one go? Oh, here we go. 4 and 2 red sorcery. Exile target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard. Creatures you control get +X/+O until end of turn where X that spell's mana value. Whenever a spell you control deals combat damage. Wait, no. Whenever a creature you control deals damage to a player this turn, copy the exiled card. That's pretty good. If you make it to the late game, that seems like it's going to hit like a truck. That's too good. It hits like a truck. We gonna need to run that. Okay, so that's exactly what this deck needed. We're gonna move on to the next one. Keep all your suggestions you're just now coming up with in a sticky note. We'll circle back to these decks. Don't worry. Next deck is the $30 Powerhouse Magnus deck. So Magnus is 3 blue and a red, 4/5 flying. Instants and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each token you control, creature token. And whenever Magnus the red deals combat damage to a player, create a 3/3 red spawn creature token. So this deck's main idea is you're going to spend your early game creating tokens, so you can drop Magnus, and then mid-late game you are just spell slinging out of your ass because all your stuff's going to be very, very cheap. And if you draw into any other token spells past that point, they're going to be pretty much free to play with Magnus, so it doesn't really matter. Just play them, fuel into your spell slinger engines, because we run a ton of them, and then just keep looping that to win. So we got some like big boy spells, because again, we're on a $30 budget. Explosive Welcome, Call of the Skybreaker, Hit the Motherlode, Calamity of Cinders, Magnum Opus, Firemind's Foresight. Some board buff cards like Haze of Rage, because we can cost reduce Haze of Rage, and that can potentially be pretty great to buff our tokens. Magnus, smack face with all those, potentially win. Same thing with Balmor. Got some good card draw. ETB pings, we run Impact Tremors, Witty Roastmaster, Molt Gatekeeper, and Shocking Sharpshooter, because all of our token ETBs, you might as well be dealing damage for that. And then we also run Spell Pings, so we could be dealing damage for slinging our spells mid and late game, on top of the token ETBing, also doing pings. A couple of storm effects, like Spreading Insurrection and Grape Shot, so when we're popping off, we can just gain control of a ton of creatures, deal a ton of damage with Grape Shot. The token production for early game, I guess Rise of the Tides isn't early, but this is more of a late game one. If you draw into this late game, it'll potentially come out for 1 blue to make a 2/2 for each artifact or instant or sorcery in your graveyard, which is nuts. As far as early game's concerned, we got Dragon Fodder, Young Pyromancer, Loyal Apprentice, Talran, Third Path Iconoclast, Murmuring, Mystic. We've got Ovika in here to turn all of our non-creature spells into a bunch of tokens, and then we got Empty the Warren, which needs to be up in the Storm as well, to storm off and create a bunch of tokens as well. A couple of wipe effects. I've also got Scoured Existence in here, just because it might be a free exile target permanent, which seems pretty good to me. So yeah, we're gonna look at that. What appealed to you from this Izzet commander that had the others didn't have? I thought she was cool because the way she pivots. I think that's actually very, like, not even just like an Izzet commander thing to be unique. I think that's like a commander thing to be unique. You don't see a lot of commanders that, like, their game plan is to pivot. And I think this is really cool that it's like, hey, early game you're setting up tokens, and you have a lot of cheap stuff to, like, keep your board full of tokens throughout the whole game. And then that is your fuel source to fuel the spell slinging, because it's kind of insane to me that you could drop let me just go to tokens really quick. It's kind of nuts to me that you could drop a Dragon's Fodder and then all your instants and sorceries cost 2 less, because then you look at your hand and you're like, oh, wait a second, let me see here, my Release the Gremlins cost 2 less. I'll just cast that for 3 now, destroy 2 artifacts, make 2 more gremlins. Oh wait, now I have 4 tokens, so my Empty the Warrens cost 1, so I'll cast that and make 2, 4, 6 goblins. And now all my spells cost 10 less. Oh, okay, so let me scroll back up here. Now I can cast Explosive Welcome for 1, Call the Skybreaker for 2, hit the Motherlode for 3. I just think that's super interesting to me. And I like creatures in my decks. I feel like Azula was very spell slingery, like straightforward with instants and sorceries. She felt like she also had a board presence, which I was like, that is really, really cool, actually. The ability to have board presence on Magnus is actually sick. Fun fact, buyback can be reduced during casting. So I was wondering if that counted like that, because it was an additional cost. So I was like, does that count like that? Super good to know. So you can reduce that to buy it back for free. Yeah, so exactly, dude. So then this one becomes 1 red to give my whole board +1/+0. And then on top of that, every time I cast that, we do a spell ping. That seems nuts to me. First Day of Class in this deck? Does First Day of Class do it with any amount of creatures that enters? It's not the next time, it's just like creatures that enter this turn, right? Because if that's the case, that seems really good in here. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control this turn, put a 1/1 counter on it and gains haste. Yeah, that's fantastic in here. Yikes. Do you know how big of a chain we could go off on with, like, start it with the First Day of Class and then just pop the hell off with all of our token engines in play? And then it's just like, oh, by the end of this chain, I had 13 tokens enter, and they all entered with a 1/1 in haste. This is great in this deck. Damn. I would recommend Kylo as a finisher. It can go kind of crazy once you have enough power to sacrifice, and having haste, it's pretty hard to interact with. Kylo. I'm just going to try both of them. I don't know which one it is. Oh. Probably not her thing. Probably her. 5, a blue and a red, 4/4, Menace, Ward 2, Haste. Whenever Kylo, Visionary Inventor, attacks, sacrifice any number of other creatures. Then exile the top X cards of your library, where X is the total power. You may cast any number of... Ooh, that's perfect in here. Damn, she's rough in here. That's really, really good. Yeah, first day of class and Kylo are crazy suggestions right off the bat. Those are both really nuts. Maybe look at the spree cards from Thunder Junction. Ooh, because those are additional cost. Big brain. Big brain. Have you seen that, like the Migos interview? Where Offset's like only talking in ad-libs. I was just talking to my brother about this. That is like the funniest shit. He's like, okay. And they're like, all right. So, how's your family life? Perfect. And they're like, nice, good for you, good for you. So we heard about a new album. When's that gonna drop? Wait on it. It's so good, dude. Every time I'm like, oh, they got him. They got him with the album's about to drop. It's too in depth of a question. He's not gonna be able to ad-lib his way out of this one. Wait on it. Oh, got their ass, dude. Just when I thought he was done, he's back in. Okay, so which one of these would we want? Let's sort them by EDA track rank so I can see some of the top ones. There's second dragon fodder, arouse reinforcements. I think that is in here, if I'm not mistaken. It's not. That does need to go in here. Rouse reinforcements. Come on. There we go. Nice, yeah. That definitely needs to go in here. Okay, so spree cards. Let me see here. Return the favor, 2 red for an instant with spree, copy target instant sorcery spell, activated ability or triggered ability, or 1, change the target of target instant. So I can play this for 2 red to do both of those. I think return the favor is a couple bucks though. Yeah, I don't know if $3 is worth that for the $30 budget. Great Train Heist seems disgusting in this deck, but it's a $4 card. I don't think we can make room for it. Care Keep if you're desperate for board. I'll check that out in one momento. 3 steps ahead. That's another pretty pricey card. Does 4 damage to target creature, destroy target artifact. I mean, playing that for 1 red actually seems nuts. Explosive derailment. That actually seems very good for a single red. Create a 2/2 spirit or counter target spell unless its controller pays 1. So in my deck, I could pay 1 blue for that to counter target spell unless they pay 2, and then make a 2/2 with flying. And then that 2/2 with flying would make my instants and sorceries cost 1 less, pretty much replacing the mana I spent for this. It's pretty good. I can definitely replace one of my counter spells with that. Phantom Interference. Metaphoric Blast. 1 blue instant. Until end of turn, target creature becomes a white rabbit that's with power 0/1, or target player draws 2 cards. This could be a 1 blue target player draws 2 cards. Well, I guess like so could Divination in this deck. I can't get lost in the sauce like that. I almost got fooled. Jailbreak Scheme. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature. It can't be blocked this turn. Target artifact. I don't know if that one's good enough. Caught in the Crossfires deals 2 damage to each outlaw creature, or 2 damage to each non-outlaw creature. Yeah, I'm good on that one. Those other ones are great though. Care Keep makes little 0/1 tokens. That just seems good. Just a land that can start making your instants and sorceries cost 1 less, essentially. Seems good. Lightning Volleys, Song of Jeez. Tontentas? Jeez, that's a tough one. Lightning Volley. Song of Totentans. Until end of turn, creatures you control get tapped, deal 1 damage to target creature or player. Yikes. Holy, that's really good. Song of Totentans. X and red sorcery. Create. Oh, okay, so just double your tokens for 1 red in this deck. Yikes. Glimpse the impossible as draw or tokens. Oh, this is the exile and make little Eldrazi spawns. Yeah, I think this card's great. I think that's great in here. Battle him. What did he do? I need to know what he did first. Oh, I have battle him in here. I was gonna say that one sounds familiar. Oh man, these decks already feel so much better. This has been a huge help already. Okay, we're gonna move on. Move on to the next $30, the final $30 powerhouse video or deck for the video this week is Falother or Falother. This is the deck I needed the least amount of help with. This one is pretty much already running like an absolute unit. Every time I've gamed or tested it, goldfished it, it's been doing what you want it to do. So if there's just any like no-brainer cards that need to be added to this list, shout them out. Falother, Dawn of the Abzan, white, black, green, 3/3 trample. When she enters or attacks, you may sacrifice a non-land permanent. When you do, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. So we've got, let me see here. Got tokens, so that we can just always have something in play to sack to her ability. And then the stuff that we don't sack to her ability just gets buffed by her abilities. That's just like a no-brainer. More counters. Counter synergy. We're just flooding the board with tons of creatures, tons of counters, and big wide swings, double encounters, playing an Endra's Forerunner, Abzan Falconer to end the game, give all of our stuff flying. Pretty great. This deck kept firing off on all cylinders. So if there's just anything that I missed for this one that you think like, oh, that's an obvious include in that one, let me know. Because this one was hitting. I liked how this one was playing. I mean, if it was... What is it doing? Trying to embarrass me? It's not great. That's pretty great. That's risky, but not terrible. I don't know why it's not giving me a ton of lands. I run 38, don't I? Yeah, I run 38. Sometimes Scryfall's or Moxfield's weird for me. That's a pretty good one, actually. Ooh, that's a sexy hand. I like that one. Revitalizing Repast as a protection spell plus land. I like this one in my Taval deck a lot. So I could see it being good. I'll take out one of these 40 Steamos for it. Maybe sometimes you're weird for Moxfield. Oh my god, I think that's exclusively what I am for Moxfield. Moxfield's like, who? This guy again, dude? I can tell by the way he's moving cards around. It's this guy. I can tell by the mana base it's this guy. Alex, hello. Finally made it. I told you guys Alex was coming. They didn't believe me, Alex. I said he's actually going to make it this time. Watch. What deck is this? This is, I don't know how to say your name. Falother, Dawn of the Abzan. Big, go wide, huge, giant, 1/1 counters on everything. Babbity babbity boop. Alex, we're looking at decks that are going to be a part of videos coming out this week. We're pretty much ready to record on them. I'm just dialing in the decks, making sure that they aren't missing anything that is like glaring issues. There's a few issues with some of the decks that I'm gonna bring up that you guys have been helping me with today. This is the last deck of the $30 Powerhouse series that's gonna drop this week. But we're gonna look at another set of 4 decks that's a part of another series that's gonna drop that I need your guys' help with it as well. So we got plenty of time. Whoa, wouldn't Emperor of Bones be perfect here? Might have gone more expensive recently though. It's $1.55. That can definitely fit in here. Whenever one or more 1/1 counters are put on Emperor of Bones, put a creature card exiled with Emperor of Bones into play under your control with a finality counter on it. It gains haste, sacrifice at the beginning of next time, but at the beginning of combat on your turn, exile up to 1 target creature card from a graveyard. Yikes. That's incredible in here. I need to put this in Arna. That's a good card right there. The Ozolith? Yeah, I wish, dude. We could put the other guy in here though. The what's his name? Reluctant role model. Just popped into my head when I picked up my deck. I said to touch my deck and I was like, whoa. Don't clip that. Don't clip that. That's out of context. Reluctant role model. The Ozolith if you broke. Which I am. So it's perfect. Let's think. I would kind of like Awakening Zone in this deck, actually. Giving some mana ramp and some tokens. 70 cents. I think Awakening Zone would be choit. It'd be choit. How graveyard centric is it? If it's a big thing, then Wake the Dead could be cool. It is not a big thing. We are literally going to be pretty much exclusively using token engines like Skrelv's Hithe, Torrens, Anafenza, Nested Scarab, Sinkhole, like repeatable effects. I guess Nested Scarab's not a good example. Sinkhole, Wizened Mentor, Monastery, Brigade, Ophiomancer, Skrelv's Hive, Jacked Rabbit. We're going to be using like repeatable token engines to not only flood the board with tokens, but also make sure we have something to sack to Lathor, whatever the hell her name is. Felathar. Jeez. MH3 cards are so pushed. I also like Catholian Nightmare a lot, but I don't know if it fits in here. Catholian Nightmare is sick. I've been trying to find a deck to put that into. I was thinking about putting it into Vol the other day. One in the black enchantment. When it enters, you get 3 energy. Pay X in energy. Sacrifice a creature. Return Catholian Nightmare to its owner's hand. Return target creature card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate as a sorcery. But as a reanimation player, paying full cost for a creature is not how I roll. I'm not paying the mana cost. I won't. I wonder if there's anything in here that would be good in this deck. I would imagine there'd be something. Ooh, how much is Drana? She seems busted. If she's under $2, she's definitely going in here. 47 cents? Yeah, whenever she deals combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on each attacking creature you control. Yeah. Have fun with your board getting huge. Oh, what's the other one? Something Revenant. Nurkana Revenant. Oh, it's a $6 card. No, that's not the card I was thinking of. What's the big vampire girl? What's the 3/3 black? Like, your stuff gets 1/1 counters when it deals damage to players. Like, your creatures get that many 1/1 counters. She's old. 3/3 black. Isn't Dolmen Gate getting reprinted? How's the price? I think I just looked at it and it was like 20. Yeah, it's $20. 24. No, this Drana, she's like Drana, but she gives all your creatures the ability to get a number of 1/1 counters when they deal damage to an opponent equal to the damage they dealt. Necropolis Regent. Boom. Thank you, Gibbous. Also, I don't think I said hi. How are you doing today, my guy? Necropolis Regent, baby. And she's 53 cents. Yeah, this bad boy. 6/5 flying. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put that many 1/1 counters on it. Yeah, sure. Hi, bud. What's up, Kryptonite? How you doing today, Butter? What's up, Butter? What's going on, Ronnie Webb? Or Ronan Weeb? Ronnie Webb. What's up, Ronnie Webb? How are we? What's going on, Kryptonite and Ronan Weeb? How are we today, boys? We're looking at a Felathar Dawn of the Abzan deck. It's going to be a part of a video coming out later this week. Probably Sunday. I don't know. One of those days. Friday or Sunday. I'm just trying to dial in the decks, make sure there's nothing I missed before really digging into the videos and starting recording on them. There's a mono white guy that makes each creature with counters have lifelink. Envoy of Ancestors. Do we not have him? We do. He's very good. I got Envoy of Ancestors, Abzan Falconer, and Tuskguard Captain. They're really good. So definitely not a bad suggestion there. Was just busy playing some God of War Chains of Olympus earlier. How goes deck theory crafting? Good. You guys have had a ton of good suggestions for these decks that I definitely would have missed before the videos, so that's exactly what I needed. Nimble Right Schematic. Now, what is that? 2 for an artifact. When Nimble Right Schematic enters the battlefield or is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, create a 1/1 colorless construct artifact creature token. Can you stack artifacts with my commander? Oh, now they have permanent. This just gives you like 3 activations of my commander. So does a bunch of other stuff, but that's definitely not bad. Servo schematic, Mycosynth Wellspring, or Ichor Wellspring. I didn't even think about using the Wellsprings in here, and those are some of my favorite cards ever printed. So I'm definitely putting the Wellsprings in here. Oh yeah, love those. That's super cool. I'm happy I get a deck where I can use those now. I still need to build Riku of 2 Reflections deck and Ghoul Caller Gisa deck. Riku's so cool, man. He's just like a value machine. I'm thinking of making my Riku deck copy creature based. That's where I would go with it. And then you can just like any instance and sorceries you do run are just like extra value. So I just realized how versatile Riku of 2 Reflections is. Yeah, it's nuts. You could run adventure cards, dude. And then just get both sides of Riku for all your cards. That would be cool. Adventure Riku, dude. Want to go for an Adventure Riku? You got Bloodghast, right? I don't think I do because it was expansive. I think Bloodghast was like sitting at like $4 or something. I don't think it was like... We're trying to stay at $30 for this list, but let me make sure here. Because if it's under $2, I'll definitely... It'll definitely fit in here somewhere. Come on, that's how you split. That's how you split. Oh, it's $1.10. Yeah, that can go in here. What's the other one? The landfall one. Because I think Bloodghast and him would be enough. There's Bloodghast, which does landfall as well, I believe, right? But then there's another one that does landfall that returns from your graveyard. Yeah, what is it? There's another one. Oracle, landfall, return, graveyard. It's not landfall? What is it then? Wait. What am I thinking of here? It's from, yes, there we go. Thank you. Ah, yeah, you have to cast it. This is fine. Skyclave, that seems like it'll do the thing we need it to do. Skyclave Shade. Oh my gosh. That's not what I wanted you to do. Still nothing, wow. One question, Nick. Are you into Dragon Ball and Bleach for anime and manga? I've actually haven't watched either one of those, if I'm being honest. I just couldn't, not even that I couldn't get into them. I am interested in watching Dragon Ball. I just talked to my cousin a while back about what I should watch. So I might get started on Dragon Ball at some point. I'm way too into One Piece right now. I'm really into Gachira Tura. I can never remember the name of that anime, the trash one that just came out. It's not trash, but it's about garbage. That's very good. I've been loving that. That one's been great. Bleach looks cool, though. I just haven't been sold on it yet. Stargaze is a good card draw piece with some really pretty art. Also, Signature Slam can be good with all the counterplay. I think LJL always recommends Stargaze. He's really into that card. I was about to type in Alex Pitcon. Signature Slam. Ooh. Okay. 2 and a green instant, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control, then each modified creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. Oh, I wish it trampled over. That'd be overpowered. But oh man, it'd be so good. That's pretty good for removal. I feel you. I couldn't get into Naruto and One Piece on my end, so I get where you're coming from. Yeah, there's definitely like just different connections for different people. It is funny. Well, this already seems better than it was, so I'll have to find some cards to cut, but that's the funnest part for me, so that's okay. Oh, I don't have my phone flipped. Let me make sure everything looks okay. Synchronized charge. What is that one? 1 and a green for a sorcery. Distribute 2 1/1 counters among 1 or 2 target creatures you control. Creatures you control with counters on them gain vigilance and trample until end of turn. It has harmonize. You may cast this from your graveyard for its harmonize cost. You may tap any number of creatures to help cast for X, where X is the tapped creature's power. That's pretty freaking good. Is that how you spell it? It is. Yeah, that seems great. Oh yeah, let me make sure everything's looking okay here. We got 14 people. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's just a lot of different series. That's why I went to my cousin, because I was like, hey, I looked up like Dragon Ball to start watching it, and there was like 12 different things that were all like series, full on like 100 episode plus series. He's like, yeah, I can't remember which one he told me to watch. I think I started watching like the OG one with the little guy with the monkey tail. Okay, we are looking pretty good. Stream's not looking bad either. Oh, I just almost had a heart attack. I accidentally rewound my live stream to the beginning where it was me full screen, and I was like, have I been full screen this whole time? I was gonna be like, I sound insane to you guys. Okay. Let's move on. So you super helped me with those decks for that video. We're gonna circle back around to them at some point, so if you've got any more suggestions, don't worry. The next set of 4 decks is gonna be for another video that I'm working on, where the idea of the video is each of the 4 decks we talk about in the video are going to cover one of like the umbrella strategies in Magic, and we'll talk about why I selected one of them as the one I did, because there really wasn't a better option other than that one. I'm convinced of that. I'll stand on that. So when I was looking at the umbrella like terms that every strategy fall under, it came up with, obviously, aggro, mid-range, control, and combo. Those are like the 4 big things. Those are like essentially the gods of the Magic strategies. Those are the ultimate rock, paper, scissors that are going on when you play Magic. So the idea behind this video was going to be to build 4 decks, each one tapping into one of those themes, but each deck is $10. So you could literally, you and your boys could each pitch in $10, go buy these decks, and then have a game night of Commander where each of you is playing one of these different like blanket umbrella themes, not necessarily like even dialed in to be like tokens or anything specific. You're just kind of playing a deck that falls under one of these umbrella themes, and they are designed to be played versus each other. So these decks aren't going to perform great versus other like Commander decks. They're $10, and they're mainly there to be semi easy to play, explain these blanket umbrella terms while also having like enough synergy and cool moments to like introduce people to the game and be like, oh, I want to build more stuff like this. So when I was researching for this video, building an aggro deck was really easy and it was really good. Building a mid-range deck was really easy, really good. Building a control deck was really easy, really good. The combo deck was physically impossible, because if you're actually running a combo deck, you're going to need 2 things. You're going to need actual combos that win you the game, and you're going to need heavy control, actually 3 things, and you're going to need tutors so you can get those combos, because that's literally all your deck is trying to do, is get these specific cards in play, combo, win the game. For $10, come to find out, impossible. The best I could do was like an intruder alarm plus something else. An intruder alarm was already like $3 to $4, so there's half your budget right there on combo. So what I decided on was we completely scrapped combo out. Okay, so combo is no longer one of these umbrella terms we're using. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to do aggro, mid-range, control, and Voltron. Now, it seems weird because Voltron is a specific strategy. I do agree with that. But it feels different enough, and it feels like it's not really aggro all the time when you're playing it. It's not quite mid-range when you're playing it. It's not quite control when you're playing it, although you can do some like cool control-y, combo-y things with certain equipments. It feels really like it's its own beast. So the 4th deck is a Voltron deck where you're like, it is centric around the commander. So I guess the idea is we've got aggro that's centered around playing fast, mid-range that's centered around playing slow but not too slow and having high value, control, which is centered around playing slow as hell so it can build up its board state, and then Voltron, which is built around kind of staying out of the way, not staying a threat, building up a single threat to then sneak its way in and one-shot somebody, which feels very similar to Combo, how Combo tries to one-shot somebody, but on a budget, and with how the other 3 decks played, Voltron felt like the best 4th choice here. So we've got the 4 decks here. We're going to start things off with the Introduce Your Friends to Commander $10 Voltron. So the $10 Voltron deck is based around Yahenni, Undying Partisan. This is 2 in a black, 2/2. And keep in mind, again, I don't want to sound redundant or like a broken record here, but the idea of this video is that you, someone who's been wanting to play Commander with your boys forever, but you just can't get him into Magic in the first place, let alone Commander, you can now convince them, hey, it's $10 for this deck. The deck is super easy to play. It'll introduce you to enough of the game that you will want to understand more after you play it. That's really the idea here. Combo's budget is hard. Who do you have as the commander for the decks? Combo can be built cheaply. Most Blink Flicker decks combo with a ham sandwich. I'd advise you to build an Abriel Adrian list. He goes nuts with a lot of cheap pieces. So here's the thing. I actually did have a Kaikar deck when I originally was gonna go with Combo. I did build a Kaikar deck because I was like, Blink seems really good for just going off. But to be fair, that's more like heavy synergy more so than it is I'm literally going to assemble a specific set of cards that wins me the game. And I understand that probably with Abdel you're referring to, there probably is an infinite combo you can go with. I'm just not sure. Yahenni felt right to me. You know what I mean? Or not even Yahenni, just like Voltron felt right to me. But we'll take a look first. We'll take a look first, because maybe I'm dead wrong. You know what I mean? And like we can go infinite for a relative budget, but the budget is $10. So like it is incredibly hard to get it going. So the first deck is the Introduce Your Friends to Commander $10 Yahenni Voltron. And Yahenni is 2 in a black for a 2/2 haste. When a creature an opponent controls dies, put a 1/1 counter on Yahenni, Undying Partisan. Sacrifice another creature. Yahenni gets indestructible. So Yahenni gets bigger and bigger over time. He's got haste and he's got built-in protection. This is all going to make for a great first-time Voltron deck to pilot, because your deck's actually going to feel safe, which a lot of Voltron decks don't. And it's going to feel aggressive. It's going to feel fast. It's going to feel... it's mono black, so it's going to feel powerful, because mono black does a ton of strong shit. And as you can see, we got some card draw. Every card pretty much has to be close to 10 cents or less. If we have stuff that's like 30 cents to 60 cents, that's splurging in this deck. So we got a card draw thing. We got loop sacks, so we can creatures that will be able to sack, send to grave, and then play again. So we've got Skyclave, Shade, which we were talking about in the last deck, Reassembling Skeleton, Persistent Specimen, Bloodsoaked Champion, Gutter Bones, Tenacious Dead, Haunt of the Dead Marshes, Liliana's Devotee, which makes 2/2s to replace the stuff we sack. So we're always going to have stuff in play to sack to Yahenni. So Yahenni will pretty much always be able to have Indestructible. And as you'll come to find out, threatening to have Indestructible is the same as having Indestructible. So we won't actually have to sack a lot of this stuff at the end of the day. Love that they reprinted Night's Whisper enough so it's that cheap. Yeah, it's actually really great. I looked up under 10 cent card draw in black, and I was like, Night's Whisper popped up. That's crazy. And then I was like, Dire Sight's under 10. Yeah, Dire Sight's 11 cents. I was like, sure, we'll take that. So we run these loop cards so that we'll always have Indestructible on Yahenni. And then we run a package of opponent sack cards. So the Long Reach of Night, Perilous Prediction, Diabolic Edict, Merkul's Edict, Innocent Blood, Butcher of Malachar, Demon's Disciple, Fleshbag Marauder, Accursed Marauder, Plague Crafter, Merciless Executioner, all these cards to get each opponent to sack a creature, which will then put 3 1/1 counters on Yahenni. So this is a great way to get Yahenni huge. As far as ramp is concerned, our commander's really cheap. A lot of our removal's really cheap. We do not need a lot of it. We run Mindstone for bonus card draw, Arcane Signet, because I guess why not? It's a mono deck. I don't even know if we need Arcane Signet now that I'm looking back at it. Charcoal Diamond, and then Undercity Scrounger will make treasure tokens. Whenever stuff dies, we can tap it to make a treasure token. Seems pretty good in this deck. 12 pieces of removal, because removal is going to be extra good, because when we destroy something, we get a counter on Yahenni, so all of our removal is destroy. We also run Hex, because blowing up 6 things and giving Yahenni 6 counters seems pretty nuts. Yahenni buffs. These are cards that we're going to throw on Yahenni to add to the fact that it's a Voltron commander. So Twisted Embrace is removal, plus a 1/1 counter for Yahenni, or a 1/1, so that's 2 1/1s for Yahenni. Brass Knuckles gives double strike, demonic vigor, and unholy Indenture, make sure he comes back when he dies, if he ever dies. Thieves' Tools gives him unblockable for stuff with power 3 or less. Haunted Cloak gives Vigilance, Trample, Haste. Armory of Iros keeps dishing out 1/1 counters to him. Eternal Thirst gives him another instance of his ability of getting a 1/1 counter whenever anything dies, which is disgusting in this list. Key to the City gives him unblockable. Mask of Grizzlebrand. Again, you're kind of shocked this whole list comes in at $10 because it looks pretty solid. Patron of the Vein destroys something, as well as giving a 1/1 counter on each vampire you control whenever a creature an opponent controls dies. So Patron of the Vein will just start getting big alongside your Gehenny. Sure. Rogue's Passage, of course, to make him unblockable. It seems great. Yeah, Blasphemous Act is one that definitely dropped in price like crazy. As far as lands, we got 37 Swamps, Rogue Passage. Again, this is not built to be ideally strong. It's built to be somewhat easy to pilot, to introduce someone to a mechanic. You buy these 4 decks and you play them with your buddies to introduce them to Commander. So I think this covers that pretty well. This seems pretty easy to pilot. The game plan's straightforward. And I think the deck is surprisingly strong for being $10. Like when you look at a hand, you're like, oh, I can make each person sack stuff, removal, each person stack stuff, removal, huge buff. And then when we're drawing, we didn't get the lands. That's unfortunate. But at the end of the day, it does seem like a pretty solid deck for being $10. I definitely think it does what we're trying to have it do. Oh, what are the wipes? Very good point out. I don't think I have any in here. Okay, so mono black wipes to fit the $10 budget. Give me some suggestions. One question, Nick. Which card draw enchantment is powerful between these two? Rhystic Study or Necropotence? I mean, they're both insane. If I had to pick one, like as a black player, I like Necropotence better. Or did I say Necropotence? I've never said it like that in my life. For some reason, my brain just over swapped. I like Necropotence a lot. I hate Rhystic Study. When people play it, it's just annoying. When I play it, I get annoyed. Like, Necropotence sick. You're just like, I'll pay 30. Draw 30. Why not? It's busted, actually. It's the word for it. Not even cool. Busted is the word for it. Languish. 27 cents. That's what we like to see. Is this Black Voltron? It is. So, oh yeah, 3 Hoenn. I forgot you left for a little bit. So this is the second series that I'm needing help with some of the decks. This series is going to be introducing your friends to Commander using these 4 $10 decks. So the idea is you can buy these 4 decks for $40 and you can get all 4 of them. And they kind of cover the blanket terms of like aggro, mid-range, control, and then we were going to do combo. I think personally combo's a little expensive to do on a $10 budget. So we swapped that out for Voltron. And then you build these decks, you play them with your buddies, and then you kind of just introduce and teach the game to them through using these decks. And they're just really fun. You know what I mean? I think they cover these blanket terms well. From what I've play tested, they work fairly well and easily enough that I think new players can grasp them while also wanting to learn more after. So that's pretty much the idea here. Black Sun Zenith and Final Act. Is Black Sun Zenith cheap now? We can't run stuff that's like over $1, and I'm pretty sure it's like a couple bucks, isn't it? Come on, 30-cent Black Sun Zenith. Come on. My internet is so slow. 27 cents? Hell yeah. Final Act. 44 cents. We'll take those as our board wipes. Hell yeah. LOL. I would be afraid of not getting through blockers. What do you think of Demonic Embrace? Ooh, Demonic Embrace is great. I think that's a really good thing to point out. Because we've got, I know we run at least Key to the City and Rogue's Passage to help us get through, but I think running some more stuff is definitely... Mask of Grizzlebrand gives flying as well, but I think you're 100% right. I think having some more ways to get through is definitely needed. Isn't there an enchantment aura that gives the thing Shadow? Like Dothy's Embrace? No, that's the enchantment that gives like anything Shadow, I think. That's a buck too, I can't... Is there an aura that gives something Shadow? Inner Demon. Two and 2 black, enchant creature. Enchant creature gets +2/+2 as flying as a demon. When it enters the battlefield, all non-demon creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. That might interact a little weird with our token creation stuff. Or I guess we don't do token creation. Never mind, that was our last deck. This deck uses the stuff that cycles in and out of graveyard, so we're fine with that. And that's kind of like a pseudo board wipe. Yeah, I like those. Those are great. But I don't run Rhystic Study in any of my decks of mine that I have blue in it. I just don't like the card on a personal level since the card has made me very salty in some instances, I agree. But objectively speaking, Necropotence is more powerful and Rhystic Study is just annoying. Yep. A ditto, dude. Spawning Pool can come in handy. Spawning Pool. Spawning Pool becomes a 1/1 creature with regenerate this creature until end of turn. That's funny, actually. We could just pull a creature out of nowhere that they're not suspecting and then sack it to give our guy indestructible. That's kind of cool. I like that, actually. Oh, I don't think we were drawing lands because we had a couple of cards that we already suggested and put in here. I didn't think about that. Oh, Mishra's Factory is great. Oh, great. Oh, no, great. No, great. Bring up Mishra's Factory again. No, fantastic. When someone gets divorced over a Mishra's Factory, dude. You just can't stop talking about the Mishra's Factory, can you? Yeah, those seem great, actually. Just like a little back pocket creature we could have. Little back pocket creatures, some more really good buffs and evasion for our commander. We have board wipes in here now, which I didn't even think about. So that's great. Agent of Shadow Thieves gives your commander Death Touch. Wouldn't be bad. Agent of Shadow Thieves. Whenever this creature attacks player, if no opponent has more life than that player, put a 1/1 counter on this creature against Death Touch and Indestructible until end of turn. So even if you don't meet the life stipulation, it still gets the Death Touch and lifelink. Or Death Touch and Indestructible, right? That's pretty good. Bro, people are wanting Jeweled Lotus and Mana Crypt unbanned, but Rhystic Study banned. What are commander players smoking? They're smoking that good fast mana, dude. It's a powerful drug. You play with fast mana, you're like, I don't want to ever not play with this. Luxodon Warhammer's about $1. I love me some Luxodon Warhammer. $1 is a little steep. We might be able to make it work. I might be able to find a place for it. We'll definitely keep it here just in case. Okay, let's move on to the next one. We definitely got some... I have a lot more insight on how to go about building that deck now. Okay, so the next Introduce Your Friends for $10 deck is the mid-range one. So Introduce Your Friends to Commander, $10 mid-range. And this deck is built around Bellow, Bard of the Brambles. The prices are going to be a little bit over 10 or a little below 10. Every time I click on here, it's at least like $1.20 to $1.75 in either direction. So right now this one's sitting at $12.40, but that's also because Bellow's like a $4 card. So this one had to be extra cheap. But very powerful commander and a very cool way to introduce someone to the mid-range strategy of, hey, early game, I have some removal. Mid-game, I've got really annoying artifacts, enchantments, creatures, stuff that's just going to produce a ton of synergy on board. Late game, I've got even more of that stuff, and the stuff from mid-game still been producing synergy this whole time, so you guys are just going to get absolutely... Mid-range is trying to play like a late game and a mid-game or early game at the same time, and Bellow plays into that perfectly because he cares about playing 4 mana value artifacts and enchantments, which, who would have guessed it, tend to be fantastic mid-range deck cards. So Bellow's going to be a great commander to introduce this to players. Bellow is 1 red and a green for a 3/3. During your turn, each non-equipment artifact and each non-aura enchantment you control with mana value 4 or greater becomes a 4/4 elemental creature in addition to its other types with indestructible, haste, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Rating Schemes is super cool in this kind of Gruul enchantment. Oh yeah, Rating Schemes, it is, dude. I pulled one of these out of a pack and immediately it was like, oh, that's got to go in that Bellow deck. That's actually nuts. Great minds think alike. Many have been spoiled by Mana Crypt and Jeweled Lotus in Dockside with how busted they are. Dude, too many people have been spoiled. They're like, Magic's slow. I was talking to my brother about this. He watches a lot of his videos at 2 times speed while he's working. Like, he watches One Piece at like 1.2 or something like that, just so he can like hear more episodes while he's working. And I'm like, does that ever like drive you crazy when you go back to like the normal speed? And he's like, oh, dude, sometimes it's like unlistenable. And I'm like, that's what's worrying me here, dude. It's like, what if I go back from using all this fast mana and this game's unplayable because it's so slow?
The Bello Precon from Bloomborough is so powerful straight out of the box. That's kind of what I was thinking, Ronan. I've heard that this is one of the strongest precons they made. So I was like, I feel like if you could make this a $10 deck, it would be a great way to introduce mid-range. And we actually did manage to get it around that price. So we've got a little ways to cheat bombs into play, because as you'll see, we run a lot of bomb 4 mana or higher enchantments and artifacts. Sunbird's Invocation, Everclow Ursine, Raiding Schemes, Atali, and Wild Seer Scouring Maw are all going to help us cheat into play additional huge enchantments and artifacts. I'm so bad with that. He's living too fast. I watched some videos at 3 times speed. I'm too fried. It is. My one older brother's friend owns the precon, and it's super powerful. It seems like an insanely good commander. We've got some good card draw. Again, for being $10, the whole deck, it actually shocks me we can get away with running some of these cards. Like the fact we can run Coveted Jewel, Seer's Sundial, like Natuko Cultivator, Tapestry. Like it's pretty decent, actually. Huge combats, because we're going to be animating all of our enchantments and artifacts that cost 4 or more. So giving all of our attacking creatures 1/0, or giving all of our attacking creatures 1/0 and Trample, or 1/0 and Menace, or Double Strike, all going to come into handy, especially when all the things that do that are the same enchantments that are going to get animated by Bello. We got 22 pieces of ramp. One, because we run so many 4+ artifacts and enchantments that we're going to need ramp to make sure they hit play earlier, because this would be way too slow of a deck if we didn't run this much ramp. And 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 of the pieces of ramp cost 4 or more themselves, so it's really a chain thing. Once we can get a couple of early game pieces out, followed by one of the late game pieces out, you should have enough mana ramp to just start flooding the board with all these big mid to late game enchantment and artifact threats, animate them with Bello. It's going to be great. As far as removal is concerned, we got a little 9 package of that. Straight up value that I didn't really have a place for in the deck that I just thought were like good cards to run in this deck. Use Social Engineering is actually insane, because you can warp it. So if you warp it for 1 and a green, it is still a 5-drop enchantment that you can animate with Bello and bash someone in the face for. So essentially, this is a 2-drop 4/4 haste. Animate with Bello, landfall. It's actually nuts. Slagstone Refinery will turn any non-token artifact we have died into mana or power stones, which will help us play some of our other artifacts in the deck. Ariettes lets us steal stuff. Stolen Strategy lets us steal cards. Stone Isle Generator lets us make 6 12s. Asika's Chariot is just 8 power for 4 mana in this deck. Midnight Crusader lets us steal creatures or kill creatures. Primeval Bounty is just insane amount of value. Thickest in the Thicket lets us buff up some of our other big enchantments or auras. If they're already... No, I don't think you can, actually. Did they become that until end of turn, actually? During your turn, they become that. You actually can buff up one of your enchantments or artifacts with Thickest in this Thicket, and then have them stay on there when you animate it next time. Very cool. And then 4 board wipes. So if we've got any suggestions for this deck, I'm sure we do. I saw the chat going over here. I'm going to check them out. So let's see. The Miss Bumbleflower precon is also very good. If you know how to politically... I've heard Miss Bumbleflower was nuts. I heard Bello was nuts. I know for a fact Taval was nuts. To this day, Taval is the most powerful precon I've ever bought. Of course, I've changed it a lot by this point. But when I played that straight out of the box against my buddies, it genuinely blew me away that this was this strong of a deck in a precon. Very, very good deck. And also Henzi Toolbox Tori was very good as well. Okay, let me see. Do you want to confuse new players with initiative? Because I'd like a loot dispute here. That's the thing. I don't think I want to introduce mechanics like that to players. Yeah, I don't think I want to do stuff like that. I want these decks to be easy enough that people that have never played can like get the idea and start playing them, but also slightly synergistic enough that they're like neurons start clicking, you know what I mean? Like, and they're like, oh, so if you ran a card that did like this, it would interact like this, you know what I mean? When people start asking questions like that, I think that's really what I want to sell with these decks. Berserker's Onslaught. I think I have Berserker's Onslaught in here. I do. Berserker's Onslaught's nuts in this one. 5 decks for new players to piss them off. Yeah, to absolutely... Yeah, that'll be the next video. 4 brand new decks for $10 that will make you want to stop playing the game. I ain't gonna lie, the initiative and dungeon mechanics, I don't know how to navigate or use them in MTG. It looks too overwhelmingly confusing. It's one of those mechanics where I'm just like, I'll look it up on my phone whenever it comes into play, but I'm not gonna remember it. All true, but I like that it encourages attacking. That's fair. Oh. Do we throw a disrupting decorum in here? Because that seems like it could be a whoa moment for a new player. Oh, it's a $2 in a $10 deck. You expect me to 20% of our budget on that? Yeah. Okay, buddy. All true. The OG3 Urza's lands as well could help. I don't know how much those are gonna run up the price here though. Not too much actually. Urza's Factory. Urza's Cave. Ooh, Urza's Cave is $1.69. Oh, that's not the other one anyway. Urza's Mines 49. Urza's Towers 49. Urza's Flower Plants 40. Okay, yeah, I feel like we could definitely find room for those. Because that is a good way to get some of those things into play. Goreclaw only makes your big creatures cost less, though. Which doesn't work with Bellow, right? Like with the enchantments and stuff. Gratuitous Violence. 38 cents. We can definitely find space for that. Oh, yeah. That definitely needs to be put in here. That's great. I think Genesis Wave's too expensive, though. These decks are $10. Unless Genesis Wave is, like, way less expensive than I thought now. Which it might be. We've seen a couple cards like that today where I did not realize they were that inexpensive. Genesis Wave is 29 cents. Holy shit. It's a good day to be alive, baby. I have a fully upgraded Bellow and Taval deck. They aren't that good outside of bracket 3. I mean, bracket 3, you know what I mean? Like, if you're building for bracket 4 or something, that's a whole different beast from what I'm playing. But, yeah, in casual commander, dude, Taval's an absolute unit. Also an attack trigger for power 4 or greater. Yeah, I was thinking about Goreclaw as well because of the attack trigger, but the cost reduction thing seems like a weird nombo in my brain. I don't know if I can justify it. I thought Bellow and Taval had potential outside of bracket 3 because they can be potentially strong commanders when built around them consistently. Well, Taval specifically has like a ton of combo potential. Like you can run a lot of the best combos, plus you can also just run the gold Kiru Gang or Gold Keeper or whatever and Tortured Existence and just like go infinite. But I don't know anything about like competitive stuff, so I'm not sure. Bellow goes hard on your turn, but what do we have for defense? Good point. It's actually a really good point. What would you recommend? What are some good defense pieces for a deck like this, would you say? The tutors, and they aren't much better outside bracket 3 if I'm being honest. But then again, bracket 4 is a whole different beast. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Ronan. I'm like, bracket 4 is like I don't even know. I don't even touch that. Genesis Wave is great. The best defense is good offense, and I think Bellow's definitely got good offense. Well, and like I think a lot of our stuff will just happen to make us some defense pieces. Like Asika's makes us 2/2s, Primeval Bounty makes us 2/2s. This makes us 2/2s on landfalls. This could potentially be making us 6/12s. We got 9 pieces of removal, a bunch of little mana dorks that are creatures that can chump block and help protect us. Plus, we're going to be swinging a lot with 4/4 enchantments and artifacts, which will hopefully make the opponents block. So I feel like it will be, unironically, the offense will help us defend a little bit. Mine are $500 with 3 game changers. Mine are $500 with no game changers. Mine are $500 with cards, and I'm like, ooh, that's cool. Mine are built with infinites. Bellow goes hard on your turn, but what do we have for defense? We already read this. Go down. Big defense play is Sandworm Convergence. That's a great one, actually. 22 cents. We will take that. That's a great suggestion, actually. I play bracket 4 Taval, and Bellow, even with infinites, is a little slow. Taval's just the best Sultai commander right now, but Grixis is strong in bracket 4. Yeah, Taval is insane, dude. It's such a value engine. I love that commander. And normally something being like that massively popular is enough for me to be like turned off now and be like, I don't like it anymore. Taval, I don't even care. I'm like, that's my girl, dude. Taval is so good. Akroma's Memorial is $30. Jeez. I did not know that either. Actually, swap Gratuitous Violence with Collective Inferno. It's cheaper and all your artifact enchantments are elementals. Oh. I almost say why not run both, though. Oh wait, it already looks like I run Collective Inferno. Where did it add that? Oh, I had it in here, I guess, but I took it out. That's weird. Yeah, that definitely needs to be in here. It's back in. Sapling Nursery is also good for defense. Is that the... Yeah, I pulled one of these. This actually would be good. The Affinity for Forest seems great. And then you just make a bunch of bodies. Forest you control get indestructible. Oh, it's $1.12. I don't think that's going to be able to be ran in the $10 budget. Like 1.2% of the budget right there. Yeah, I don't think we can, unfortunately. Ban Burgeoning for Nick. Please ban Burgeoning for me. I hate that card. Genuinely. Burgeoning's mad chill. Oh, it's so chill, dude. It's so chill. Your opponent being at like 5 lands by the time it's their next turn on turn 1 is so chill, dude. It's insane. I understand what you're gonna say. You're gonna say Mana Vault does the same thing. Seems like that's pretty good then, huh? Gaia's Cradle is so busted. Bright Cat Badger makes chump blockers and ramps. Do we have that one in here? No, it doesn't look like we do. We're missing this little badger. Oh, I think it's because he's like a couple bucks. No, he's 29 cents. What the hell? Yeah, he's sick. Oh, I was thinking of the little 2-drop raccoon mana dork that like exiles stuff from grave. This guy's cool. I've never seen this guy before. He makes saplings. He makes more saplings. They tap for mana. That's actually sick. I like that guy a lot. The Gruul Bounce Land. Oh, what is that called? Gruul Turf. Tolarian College Land is banned, and why not Gaia's Cradle? Yeah, I don't know. Some of the banned stuff doesn't have any rhyme or reason. Rolling Hamsphere. Get hamstered, bozo. Oh my gosh. What? What is Rolling Hamsphere? Rolling Hamsphere. There's just a new Mirror Battlesphere, dude. I didn't know this. 7 for a 4/4. Gets 1/1 for each hamster you control. Whenever Rolling Hamsphere attacks, create 3 1/1 red hamster creature tokens. Then it deals X damage to any target. And it's a vehicle, so we can just immediately turn it on with our commander. Ooh. I like that one. That's actually sick. Gaia's Cradle and Tolarian Academy are not the same power level. Yeah, Cradle makes tons of mana in the late game, but with Academy you can easily have 30 plus mana on turn 3. Smothering Tithe and Mystic are very casual in my opinion. They're very high power casual. Miserable if you're playing that anywhere else. Gaia's Cradle can be activated very easily since creatures are common for green. Yeah, we can go back and forth all day though, you know what I mean? That's why I think like everything that's busted is, you know, busted. I'm like, I feel like all those are probably ban worthy, but I also don't play enough of CDH to really know for sure. I know they're not super casual. 3 and 4 mana, I want to win at that point in bracket 4 or 5. Gaia's Cradle is way more bannable than those two. Creatures cost more mana and are slower than artifacts. Price, reasons, and power. Put that on the back of a t-shirt, dude. Price, reasons, and power, dude. Okay, we're gonna move on. I think we've got some very good suggestions for Bello here. What is going on with my chat? It keeps like shooting back up like 5 sentences. There we go. Okay. So up next we've got introducing your friends to Commander Aggro. So we've got a $10 aggro deck here based around Arabella Abandoned Doll, who, by the way, I ran 5 test games of like goldfishing all 4 of these decks against each other. Arabella came so close to beating everybody immediately until the control deck was able to board wipe, and then the control deck slowly smothered out the game and won. And then another game, Arabella came very close again, but the Obzon deck was able to keep her down with like 2 or 3 back-to-back removal spells, and then the Obzon deck completely swung out in the mid game and won. The third game, the Yaheni deck was almost the same situation as Arabella, where it was close to being able to one-shot people like very early on. No one had any answers because of the indestructible. But then, boom, we had an exile piece from the control deck. No, it wasn't exile. It was a tap down piece. You'll find out in a second with the control deck. But we ended up being able to keep the Yeheni tap down, and then the control deck ended up smothering out another win. And then game 4, the Abzan deck ended up winning. So Yeheni was the only one that didn't bring home a win, but Yeheni was very close almost every game, to the point where I was like, that doesn't even feel bad. It was very close to bringing home those games. But it played exactly how I wanted it to. It was very rock, paper, scissors. Like, it literally was like Arabella would come really close, but then anybody would remove anything and be like, oh shit. Like, the control deck would come in with a board wipe, and it was like, boom. Like, you can't do anything. We got a lot of viewers here, so the common chat will occur. Hello, everyone. Hello. People start leaving. Like, what the fuck is this guy doing? He snapped. I joined. He snapped into a British accent. Arabella is a sick choice. Arabella is awesome. Arabella is borderline unfun, man. I don't agree. And I could see in a bubble, like when you're actually going extremely hard, but like when I was playtesting, because again, the idea of this video is to play these 4 decks, the $10 decks, against each other. And when I was playtesting, playing these decks against each other, it was incredibly balanced. Like the control deck was very easily able to keep Arabella in her place when it needed to. The Abzan deck was very much able to keep the Arabella or the control deck kind of at bay a little bit with some of its removal, for some of its threats for the control deck, in the case of the control deck. The Voltron deck was able to put up enough pressure that it would take some of the aggression off Arabella. Arabella did the same for the Voltron deck. It was super interesting. Like, everything kind of balanced out pretty well. Let me see. Anyone want to hop on Spell Table, run a B3 or B4 or 2 game? Elder, Anti, Personify, and Key Roll. Attentive first year off the top of my head. Okay. Elder, Anti. Let's just make sure I don't have any of these. I'm just going to add them. And then it'll tell me. Elder Anti. I don't know what this does. I don't know what this card does, what it is at all. Who knows? Apparently this doesn't know either. Is that what it's called? Elder Anti. There we go. Jeez. Oh, yep, I do have an Elder Anti in here. Personify, I think I do have in here for removal. Yep, Personify. And Key Roll. I don't think I have Key Roll in here. I do not. Cool, so Key Roll. Tap 2 untap creatures you control, copy target triggered ability you control. Oi! That's insane in here. Those are great suggestions. What other decks are you gonna make after these ones that are currently working on, Nick? Outside of the 8 decks that are for the upcoming videos that we're talking about today, like personally, I really don't know. Like I'm working on Emmett Selch right now, trying to figure him out, the Demir one. Have you considered Yuriko? Please don't hurt me. I'm joking. I'm like, oh, let me catch you. Let me catch you. Thinking about Yuriko. Ragged Playmate. Ragged. I think I have Ragged Playmate now that I'm thinking about it. He's the like creepy doll guy. No, I don't. Oh, I thought that was this guy. Who's Ragged Playmate? Oh, I have Ragged Playmate. Order to got it, I guess. Okay, Split Skin Doll and Loyal Apprentice. I think I have Loyal Apprentice if I'm not mistaken. I have Loyal Apprentice and then Split Skin Doll. I have Split Skin Doll as well. I'm talking like a bracket 4 Arabella deck. Got me fuming sometimes. LOL. I like slower magic. Yeah, bracket 4 Arabella seems like it would literally make me want to shoot up Minecraft school. There we go. I've never seen B4 Arabella. Is it fire? It seems ridiculous. It does that much to each player, which is like insane. Bray of Clan. Wait, Bray of Clan. Is that how you spell it? Bray? Oh, okay. I don't think I've ever seen this card. 2 white and a red, 4/4, pay 1 and a white, tap it. Another target creature you control gains flying and lifelink until end of turn. At the beginning of your end step, if you gained a life this turn, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. If the spell's mana value is less than or equal to the amount of life you gained this turn. Otherwise, you may put it in your hand. That seems pretty yucky. Yeah, and she does that much damage. Yeah. Yeah. This is why I needed you guys. This is why I needed to go live. You literally think of stuff that I would never ever have thought about the lifelink connection, no matter how much time you gave me. I don't know why. My brain just like, nope. Selk is how it's pronounced. Selk? Who were we talking about? Who were we talking about? Who were we talking about? I need to check out your powerful underplayed card video, which can give ideas of stuff to check out. Yes. Yes, you do. Because I can't remember. Subira. I think I've got Subira. She's the girl that lets you discard your hand. Yeah, Subira. Tolzidi Cave Runner. What the hell is that one? Emmett Selch. Emmett Selch. Oh, that's the rest of her name. Jeez. Break through the line. Break on through to the other line. Break through the line. What does that do? 1 and a red instant. Target creature with power 2 or less gains haste and can't be blocked this turn. Very good for our commander. Damn. I always like just noting the 3 or 4 thing the commander focuses on and just exploring each one on Scryfall. Yeah, that's fair. So many basics. Oh yeah, these decks are going to have an insane amount of basics. They're $10. Like, the mana base was not going to be good. And they had to be 2 colors because if the mana base wasn't going to be great, we had to make sure they could still work. Kabira Takedown is always a good one. 30 cents. Grenzo Havoc Razor. Ooh, Grenzo seems really good in here. 24 cents? Hell yeah. Do you ever play CEDH, Nick? I've never played it, if I'm being honest. It's just... It's not, I don't think it's for me, like you were saying. Like, I've had a couple of people that have really wanted me to play it. My buddy at the shop asked me to start playing it, and I told him that I don't like how, like, same it is. I'm like, I feel like I have to find a list, and then that's the exact list I'm gonna build, and there's only, like, a select amount of ways you can win in the format. And he's like, no, there's tons of room for, like, creativity, and, like, things working, and it being fun. And I was like, okay, cool. And I remember him just, like, sending him, oh, this commander looks cool, this guy looks cool, this guy looks cool, and every time it was like, yeah, you wouldn't really work in CEDH, and I'm like, damn. And then I'd be like, oh, this is a cool win con, what about, like, this and this and this? And it's like, that's too slow. And I'm like, okay, so what you're telling me is I do have to build decks specific ways, and that deck is only going to win that way within the first 3 turns every time. And I'm like, just boring. Nick, don't you want to watch Thassa's Oracle in the game? Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was just like, there's just like 4 or 5 combos that I just keep seeing, and it's always within the first 4 turns, and I'm just like, oh, okay. It feels personally fun. Like, just for you to be like, you know what I mean? My thing did my thing, and I won on turn 3. And to show your friends, like, lay it out and be like, so I could theoretically win on turn 2. It's like, that's kind of fun, you know what I mean? But, like, I like building a deck and then being like, okay, baby, it's me and you in this. It's me and you in this. You better synergize. You better make me draw, okay? It's me and you in this. I don't want it to be like, it's me in this. I know you're going to do the thing. You know what I mean? Just depends on if you're going to do it turn 1, 2, 3, or 4. I don't like the idea of that much. Veteran Soldier, Fell the Mighty, Marshall Koo. Let me make sure, because I do have some board wipes in here. We've got Marshall Koo. We've got Fell the Mighty. Glimpse the Impossible, Battle Screech from... Okay, I don't have any of those other ones. So the other ones were Veteran Soldier. Whenever a creature attacks a player, if no has more life than that player, each opponent creates a 1/1. I feel like No one's gonna have a lot of life though with my commander, right? Whenever this creature attacks a player, if no opponent has more life than that player, we're gonna have more life than that player though, right? If no opponent. Okay, yeah, that's actually not bad. Storm Herd for the funny. Yeah, making freaking Pegasus for our life total. That is funny. That do be funny. Glimpse the Impossible, Battle Screech, and form a posse. I think Glimpse the Impossible is already in here. Battle Screech. The control deck, which we're going to talk about after this one, is the place that I really need some help. I need help figuring out ways we're going to bring home the game in that deck. And ways to make it not run so clunky. Because again, when we're playing against each other, the control deck will eventually board wipe. It will eventually gain control of the mid and late game. And it will eventually do its thing. But those first like 4 or 5 turns might feel kind of boring for a newer player. So I want a way to kind of make that a little bit more fun. But that's when we're talking about the control deck. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Scryfall is not responding. Come on. Oh my goodness. Taking forever right now. Scryfall is not responding. Well, that's weird. Let me find that one, though. Form a posse. Create X11 red mercenaries. Seems great in here. The only thing about building up strong creatures is then they no longer work with your commander. Because they have to have power 2 or less, right? Yeah. So like anthems and stuff almost work against it a bit. Any card draw. So we've got Rumor Gatherer, Mentor the Meek, Inspiring Overseer, Helpful Hunter, Assemble the Players. We got all the stuff we kind of need. I couldn't have Casey's Welcome because it was like a couple bucks. It was over budget. Come on, Scryfall. In the middle of the stream. Shit, Scryfall. Thought you were better than this. Again, this is the best one out of these 4 decks. This deck pretty much always felt great. Like, that opening hand is like, yeah, that's pretty fucking great. That one, yeah, I could keep that. That one, 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 I could keep that. This one played great. Every goldfish of this one felt fine. So just getting some more powerful suggestions is great. Raid Bombardment we do have in here. Gerard Weatherlight Hero. We actually don't have in here. How do you spell his name? Oh, it's 2. Right? It's being a little biatch again. Okay. What does this little guy do? 3/3 first strike. When Giard Weatherlight Hero dies, exile it and return to the battlefield all artifacts and creature cards in your graveyard that were put there from the battlefield this turn. Sure. Seems pretty good, right? Someone board wipes or just like have protection for it. Oh yeah, that's gonna help against the control deck board wipes too. That'll be nice to play against. That'll be cool synergy for them to see when they're playing. Hold on, Jolly Balloon Man's under $1, right? I'm pretty sure he's like 40 something cents. Let me check. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, holy shit. Yeah, 53 cents. Which is nuts. It's such a strong card. Lagana Band Storyteller, if you have a decent amount of enchantments. I don't know if I do. I don't think I do, actually. We have 7. I don't think that's probably enough to run interaction with it. Okay, we're gonna move on. This deck's feeling great, and those suggestions are definitely gonna help a ton. So the final deck for this video is introduce your friends to Commander $10 control. And the $10 control deck is built around Hilda the Icy Crown, who is 2, a white and a blue for a 3/4. Whenever you tap an opponent's creature, an opponent control, whenever you tap an untapped creature your opponent controls, you may pay 1. When you do, choose 1. You make a 4/4 white and blue elemental creature token. You put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control, or you scry 2, then draw a card. All of which are insane abilities in a control deck. Oh, you're telling me I get bodies, card draw? And what was the other one? Oh, buffs for those bodies, just over the course of a game, just for playing control spells? Sure. So Hilda taps perfectly into the control idea of just, hey, you're going to have answers to everything, and you're going to get passive value until late game hits, and then that passive value and late game bombs are going to accumulate into a win. Again, I just need help making the first 3, 4, 5 turns of the game feel more fun for the Hilda player, because right now it's not doing a lot other than playing small tap creatures like Checkpoint Officer, Dramoka, Fanbearer, Coral. All these little tiny tappers are going to be in here, because all of these essentially are just pay 1, pay 2, pay nothing, tap, and then pay an additional 1 with our commander, make a 4/4, draw a card, scry 2, give our whole board a 1/1 counter. So it does have a pretty cool way to bring these little creatures back into it with Hilda's ability to put 1/1 counters on everything. Which is kind of a cool advantage this has as opposed to some other control decks in my eyes. That's a very good control commander. It's very versatile. That's what I was thinking. I was gonna do the Council of 4 or the Council of 5, the one that lets you catch up on creatures and catch up on card draw. But that one was not control-y enough. That one was that one's okay. You know what I mean? That felt more like Pillow Fort group huggy. Hilda felt like, oh, this is a control commander. Verity Circle. Verity Circle. Is this where you draw a card when you tap something? Yeah, I don't know why this wasn't in here. That seems fantastic. Oh yeah, draw us a ton of cards, and I'm just gonna throw that in the draw straight away. I ain't even gonna put it down there. I'll find a way to get it out of here later. That's real good. Jeez. So you want early game plays? I was saying that, but now that I'm re-looking at the decks, maybe the goldfishing that I did, I just got unlucky with early game plays, because it seems like we have a little stacks things here with tons of early creatures we can play. We've got tons of early tap down creatures we can play. So maybe the goldfish games I played, I just kind of didn't luck out when it came to early game bodies. But like I said, the control deck ended up winning, I think, 2 of the matches. So this deck performatively did the best win-wise. I think the aggro deck felt the best every time I played it. The mid-range deck, the Obzon one, was just super solid. It felt like I felt fine the whole time I was playing it. And then the Yahenni deck was just fun. It was cool to just watch that creature get huge and be like, oh, I'm really close to being able to one-shot somebody. So I guess this feels fine now that I'm looking at the list. So what are your guys' takes on it outside of that? Because now that I'm looking at it, that might not be the issue. You can put Council of 4 in the 99. True. Wait, that's true. Council of 4. Oh, come on. You just popped up with all the other stuff. You just popped up with the other stuff. You just popped up with it. Thanks, though. Thanks, though. Council of 4. That definitely needs to be put in the list. I don't know why I didn't just put it in here. You got Junkwinder in there. That'll close games. Junkwinder. What does Junkwinder do? Affinity for tokens, so our little 4/4s that we make will make this cost less. Whenever a token enters the battlefield under your control, tap target non-land permanent. So then we can pay the 1 to then make another 4/4 to then have it enter, then have it tapped, then make another. Oh, that's exactly the type of shit. That is very big brain. Love that. Also, Githzerai Monk. I don't know if I've ever heard of this in my life. Four and a white, 3/2, flash, flying. When it enters, tap all creatures you don't control. Yike, you dikers. That's incredibly good. I'm a fan of Flood Pit's Drowner. Flood Pit's Drowner actually is good. And that'd be a good early game body to get into play. Oh, it's $1 though. Can't do it. Can't do it for $1.10. Teferi's tutelage for a little mill when you draw. I like Teferi's tutelage a lot. Teferi's tutelage, a little fucking what's the other one called? What's the other one's called? Sphinx's tutelage, but I think that one's actually worth money. Maybe it's not anymore. Yeah, it's $1.52. That one seems good though. Scrap it and turn it into Abashan? Who's that? Tap all creatures without flying. Oh, wait, how much is this? 50 cents? I need to put Abashan in here. No, no, no. Okay, I did spell it wrong. You got me there. You got me there. Illithid Harvester is nasty. I'm just gonna do Harvester. Illithid Harvester. 4 and a blue for a 4/4. When Illithid Harvester enters the battlefield, you may have any number of target tapped non-token creatures or turn them face down. They're 2/2 horrors. It seems really good in this deck. Yikes. And then you can tap X creatures. That's perfect in here. I've never seen this card, by the way. Combos with Gazirian Monk, too. Yes, it does. That's very cool. I like that. Cloud's Limit Break. 1 and a white, instant, destroy target tapped creature, destroy any number of target tapped creatures with different controllers. Yikes. Or destroy all tapped creatures. Ah, yeah, sure. That seems like it might be alright in this deck. Jeez. Sphere of Sleep Paralysis and Summon Shiva. I don't know what's going on with this search thing right now. Fear of Sleep Paralysis. This the one that draws you cards? The 2/7? No. I've never seen this card either. Fear of Sleep Paralysis. 4 and a blue for a 6/6 flying. When Fear of Sleep Paralysis or another enchantment you control enters, and whenever you fully unlock a room, tap up to 1 target creature an opponent controls, put a stun counter on it. Stun counters can't be removed from permanents your opponent's control. What? Yeah, that'd shut some people down. There's a ton of ways to put those counters on stuff in here. Fun fact, Obashan can tap himself to his first ability. Oh, that's cool. Seems really useful, actually. Topplegeist? Oh, come on, I saw you pop up. Jeez. Topplegeist! 1 white for a 1/1 flying. I haven't seen this card either. When Topplegeist enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep. If there are 4 or more card types among cards in their graveyard, tap target creature that player controls. Ooh, tappity, tappity, tappity. I like that a lot. Topplegeist is great. Does Thalia, Heretic, Cathar count as you tapping their creatures because they enter tapped? I'm not sure, actually. I don't think so, because I don't think you actually did the action of tapping them. I think they literally enter in that state. Because I feel like that's like something entering tapped and attacking. It didn't tap and it didn't attack. So I feel like it would work the same way, but I'm not sure. I was debating doing Hilda as my Azorius deck in the 32 deck challenge, so I found a few interesting cards with her. Dig the vibes on this one. Hell yeah. Like Turnabout and Ensnare. Turnabout. Oh, yeah, choose a type and tap all of them? Yeah, why not? Ensnare. You may return 2 islands to tap all creatures. Yikes, that seems really good in here. Because you could just tap the 2 islands to float that mana first, and then bounce the 2 islands, and then use that mana for Hilda that you just floated. You got Rada, Geist Avenger, and Partner? I don't. 3 and a white, 3/3. Whenever a creature an opponent controls becomes tapped, if it isn't being declared as an attacker, put a 1/1 on Rada. Okay, who's you partner with? Timon? Four and a blue, 3/4. At the beginning of each combat, tap up to 1 target creature. Each combat. That seems actually great. Maybe that's the commander. I missed that part. Oh no, the commander is Hilda. Hilda the Icy Crown. Nope, put in a stasis. There we go, Yorsum. I completely forgot. That's what we need. I think Nekasar is still fun option to play and can still hold up. Yeah, Nekasar is great. It's a scary commander. All right, I like these suggestions a lot. We're gonna do one more through on each of these to get any last minute suggestions. Let me go back to my decks here. Okay, so for the control deck, any last minute suggestions for this one? Because we'll just go back through them in the reverse order. Last one, Split Up. $2. Doesn't meet the budget, unfortunately. I do have Borrowing 100,000 Arrows. It's an incredibly good card in here. It is a really good name too. And I learned that like that's actually a thing they did in war. A lot of like Asian cultures would make boats that would like absorb the hit of the bow without breaking the tip, and then they would just go out and take the arrows out and then add them to their inventory. So like it literally was them being like, oh, we're just borrowing arrows. They'd make the outside of their boats look like people. So like, yeah, so you can see right there on the outside, those like white wrappings and like brown wrappings look like people standing on the sides of the boat. So people would shoot, but then their boat would just soak up the arrows and then they'd use them as ammo. Really cool. That was one of the things in school I learned about that I was like, that is extraordinarily cool. Lasanark Captain, you could run a good amount of humans. Humans. 3 and a white, 3/1, first strike. When it enters or another human enters under your control, tap target creature an opponent controls. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1. Well, the fact that it just makes 1/1 white humans, I think, is worth it. And like you said, plus we run other humans. Yeah, that seems great. You should put a tempt or similar political card in each deck. Ooh, very good. Love that. Love that suggestion. Those are the exact type of suggestions I need. Some stuff that would just make it fun for first-time players to be like, oh, that's cool. I like that. Tempt with Glory. I think that's the 1/1 counters one. That one's probably not the best. Tempt with bunnies could be funny. Tempt with reflections is $2. I think tempt with bunnies is probably going to be this deck's one. Oh, true. It doesn't really have to be a tempt. It could be a tempt style card. Alex says Council's Judgment. That'd be a great political card. Because then the table can like help pick what's a problem, what's not a problem. I might just do both in here. I think both of those would make this fun. Nick, if you want to do a unique commander idea, check out the commander Varrock Warped Sengir. One a white and a black, 2/2 flying death touch lifelink. Whenever you activate an ability that isn't a mana ability, if life was paid to activate it, you may pay that much life again and copy that ability. That doesn't seem like it has a lot of cards that would work with it though. 194. Oh yeah, because all of the Phyrexian mana abilities work with it. Ooh, that is cool. I might talk about that actually. Appreciate it, Ronan. Offering cycle. Oh yeah, an offer you can't refuse. That's not part of the cycle, but that's the idea. Intellectual Offering is probably the one I would go with here. Untap our 4/4s and draw cards. It seems pretty good. Okay, we're gonna move on. Going back over the introducing your friends to Commander $10 aggro deck. Is there any last minute stuff you think we should throw in here into the Arabella Abandoned Doll aggro list? I am going to First off, find my phone. Oh, it's literally right here. Okay. I am going to grab a water and take my phone with me to make sure nobody... Oh, so I can stay chat. I was gonna say to make sure no one goes into my room, but so I can stay chat. All right, I'm grabbing a water. Keep posting suggestions. I will be right back. I'm back. Defense against the heart. Nah. Defense grid. There's dirty stacks players. Okay. There's a good cycle from Battle Bond as well. Bro's water addiction is getting out of hand. Dude, I drink literally, the other day I counted, and it was 12 bottles of water finished. And I was like, how many bottles of water would you have to drink to get overhydrated? And it pops up 13. And I'm like, what can I say? My body knows what it wants. My body knows what it needs. But I will admit, Varrock is tricky to figure out. Is Varrock the vampire guy we just brought up? Yes, he is. Okay. Yes, he is. Oh, Street Wraith. The only modern deck I've ever wanted to build. Any more suggestions in here for Annabella before we move on to the next one? Just to get some like last minute suggestions before we hop off. Gallifrey Falls no more. Four and 2 red instant. Gallifrey Falls deals 4 damage to each creature. If a creature dealt damage this way would die this turn, exile it instead. 2 and a white. Any number of target creatures you control phase out. That seems really good. Just like as a Boros card, that seems incredible. Rabble Rousing? Ooh. Rabble Rousing goes nuts in this deck, actually. 98 cents. We'll have to find room for it. That is a really good card in here. Turf War is fun. Turf War never looked like it gave enough of a benefit for me to really care, especially for 5 mana. For each player, put a contested counter on target land. Whenever a creature deals damage to a player, if they control a land with a contested counter on it, the player that did damage gains control of it. You know, it's like, okay. 1 land? I don't like this one. I don't like that card. Mob Justice, Massive Raid. Mob Justice. Welcome to Mob Justice. 1 in a red sorcery. Mob Justice deals 1 damage to target player for each creature you control. Sure. Jeez. There's a white-red Pegasus card that does something similar. You, like, kick it when you play it, and it, like, does damage to someone equal to the number of creatures you control. Damage. Number. Creatures. You control. Type. Creature. Oh, you bastard. Oh, you bastard. Oh, you bastard. Come on, I know you're here. I know you're... It was from, like, War of the Spark. No, it's from Brothers War. Brothers War, that's what it was. No, it wasn't Brothers War. It's the one with the little... It's the one with the little sword, like, cutting through the... What is it? What's that set called? Aftermath? But I don't know what I don't know how to find cards from that. Yes, here we go. March of the Machines. That's what it was. MOM. Set MOM. And then we should be able to find it here, baby. We got there eventually. I'm like 99% it was in this set. Oh, but I don't see it. Oh, but I don't fucking see it. Well, where is it then? If it's not in this set... I can see the picture and I swear it was this set. It's a guy on a Pegasus flying through the sky. You can pay like 2 and a red for kicker, I think. And it like does damage equal to the number of creatures you control when it ETBs. It's gotta come up. I swear it was kicker. This guy. He's from Dominaria. I do not remember playing the Dominaria set at all. I don't know why I would have been playing with this. Weird. Okay. Yeah, this guy. 2 and a white, 2/2 flash. Kicker for 2 and a red flying. When it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, it does X damage to any target where X is the number of attacking creatures. So you can even like scale with other people's boards too. There we go. Sorry, that took way too much time, but I had to figure that out. Okay. I use cards like Forsworn Paladin, Raise Keth Foul-Blooded, Vona Butcher of Megan, Phyrexian Reclamation, Fond of Ognes, Greed, Lunar Invocation, Blood Tracker, Glass Cast, Heart of Varak. For... Sorry, he was responding to Crypt Knight. I don't know why I'm like, I have to figure out what this is. Alex says, what's this? What's the effect again? Oh, referring to that card. He saw it in a dream. Dude, it might have been. I remember the other day I had a dream where I was at a Magic tournament and I was reading cards. And then I woke up and I was like, that whole you can't read in dreams thing is bullshit. And I was like, because I 100% was reading that card in the dream. Maybe I was lucid dreaming. It was pretty boring for a lucid dream, dude. Pretty boring. All right, we're going to move on. This deck seems pretty good. It seems like we got all the suggestions for that one. The $10 mid-range Bellow Bard of the Brambles deck. Is there any additional suggestions you think? Oh, hold on a second. Let's go back to the other one so we can throw in the political effect in there. What is a political effect we can throw into Arabella? It's sandwich time. I would love a sandwich. I know it's overcosted in these $10 decks, but Fated Clash seems really fun. Fated Clash. Oh, yeah. That's really fucking cool art, too. Jeez. What a cool art. I was gonna say, I think Tempt with Bunnies is probably good here, too. Okay, moving on. We go to Bellow Bard mid-range. So here we're gonna use Tempt with... I don't know if any of the Tempts are affordable in this deck, but we'll see. Okay. What were the other ones we were talking about? There was another one, when we were bringing up Tempts, you guys brought up another cycle of cards that would be really good. Offering. Wow, this search is being specifically rough. Tempt with Mayhem. 1 and 2 red. Choose target instant or sorcery spell. Each opponent may copy that spell and may choose new targets for the copy. You may copy that spell for each opponent who chose to copy it this way. That's great. Love that. That seems fun as hell. Have you ever thought about how offering is the opposite of One Ring? Never. I don't think I've ever once thought about that. Thanks. Now I'm gonna be stuck here thinking about it. Yeah, I think that's a fine political card to run in here. The Mayhem one seems good. Anything else? Any other fun like political card we could put in here for like a first time player? That would be fun. I think we're pretty good. I think just like 1 or 2 in each deck is going to be enough to just like introduce that every now and then. Moving on to the Yahenni deck. I feel like this would be good. What's the black tempt card? Can't even think of what that is. One question, Nick. How long have you been playing Magic the Gathering? I can imagine it must have been for years. I started when OG Ravnica came out. I was 8. So 19 years ago. Which is crazy. Playing Magic for most of my life. Clearly Colossal Dreadmaw. Clearly. The greatest card of all time. Tempt with Immortality. Oh, and that gets back something from the graveyard. Yeah, I don't think that's what we really want. What's the other one? Is there a black offer card? Oh, Infernal Offering. It's the same thing, though. You just get to reanimate something, and so does everybody else. I don't know how great that is in our deck. Oh, well, sack a creature and draw 2 cards is great in our deck, and then bringing back a creature just used to sack for our commander to get indestructible. That's actually good. Yeah, Infernal Offering is actually good in here. I like that. Joe Kelly. Hello, Nick. How you doing? Good. How you doing? Doing good today. Looking through some decks that are going to be featured in some upcoming videos, kind of ironing out some kinks, dusting off some rust with the chat here. Grave Consequences. That sounds like a cool card. Jeez, really just picks what letter it wants to pop up on. Grave Consequences. 1 in a black for an instant. Each player removes any number of cards from his or her graveyard from the game. Then each player loses 1 life for each card in their graveyard. Draw a card. Yikes. Yeah, I don't like it in this deck, but that is a cool card, actually. As a graveyard player, personally, I'm offended by that card. I look at it and I'm like, oh. But what if we didn't do that? What if we did something else? Target creature gets -1/-1 for each swamp. I was considering this, but the buck made it a little undoable. What about Tragic Slip? That would probably just be a better option in this deck anyway with all the sack. 15 cents. Yeah, Tragic Slip's fine. Lash Wraith, I think I have in here. If I'm not mistaken. I don't. That's crazy. Oh, okay. I guess I just removed it because it was in your Henny buffs. Yeah, that's crazy. I should have kept that in there. It's such a good card. Did you peep the Bottle Bond offer cycle? Yes, I looked up the. I didn't see what the offer cycle card was for the. Is offer like a mechanic? Ah, it is Tempting Offer. Okay. Yeah, there's not any good black ones. Cool. My combo Altar of Dementia and Doomsday Excruciator worked great in my league. Hey, hell yeah. Thanks for making these cool decks for noobs like me starting my MTG journey and trying to figure out what style and color I like. Hey, Douglas, hell yeah. That's what I'm hoping this video will help with a ton. Ronan. Like Regnus Sanction. What the hell is that? 3 and a white. For each player, choose friend or foe. Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Friend, foe. Here we go. What does the black one do? For each player, choose friend or foe. Each friend returns a creature card from their graveyard to their hand. Each foe sacrifices a creature they control. This is perfect for this deck. That is perfect in this list, actually. For each player, choose friend or foe. Each friend puts a 1/1 counter on each creature they control. Oh, Regnus Sanction is perfect for the Obzon list. Let's move on to the Obzon list so I can stick this in here. Oh, wait, no. That's the $30 decks. Never mind. I was thinking outside of the $10 introduce your friends to this game deck. I do think the white one is still very good in this one. Putting a 1/1 counter on our full board. Actually, putting a 1/1 counter on our full board is a bit of a nombo because we want our creatures to have power 2 or less. So I don't really like that one as much as I thought. 4 and a blue for each player. Choose friend or foe. Each friend chooses a token that's a copy of a creature they control each foe. That one's okay. And then draw that many cards. That's a $1.90. That's not going to really work either way. That's $2. It's not going to work either way. Black one's great. That's actually perfect for the mono black list. Maybe the Marauder guys that enter in each player's sacks. We actually have those, I believe, because I'm on the same wavelength, dude. When I saw that Yaheni, I was like, wait a second, these are busted. Yeah, Accursed Marauder, Fleshbag Marauder, Plague Crafter, Merciless Executioner, Demon's Disciple. I thought there was only 4. I can't believe there's 5 of these effects now. So good. And then you run a deck where you're able to run these along with Sun Titan. That's like my favorite shit ever. Also, Nick, I just wanted to say thank you for showcasing that there are some hidden gem commanders out there to check out that may overlooked or underestimated. Thank you, Ronan. Appreciate it. That's what I like to do. I like to highlight some undervalued stuff. I'm like a Garachitura. What's that anime called? Where the guy, they're like they're vital instruments and shit, dude. I've been watching that. It's really good. I can never pronounce the name. That's an awesome card. The black Friend or Foe card is that what we're talking about? Because that is really good. I actually really like that one. Yeah, Friend or Foe. That's it. Hell yeah. All right, and then we've got introduce your friends to Commander Control, which Zindersplit's Judgment's okay. It's not the best. Like, we can get another 4/4. We can get a copy of one of our 4/4s and then bounce a creature each opponent controls, but we're all about tapping. We're not really about bouncing in that deck. And then putting a 1/1 counter on each creature we control. And then for each foe, choose one untapped creature they control, then tap the rest. Oh, hold on. Ragna's Sanction is actually perfect in here. Wait, didn't we put it in here already? Is that a card you suggested? Is that what started this whole... No. Oh, well, that is an insane... Oh, okay, I spelled that right. That's a nuts card in here, actually. Perfect. Gachiakura, yes. That shit's been gas. I'm on like episode 15 right now. Well, I mean, Jabba is the GOAT, dude. I like him a lot. Yeah, it's been fun. I've been really liking the show a lot. Yes, it's one of those mono black decks. It's in one of my mono black deck. My league this year will have 1, 2, 3 competing decks. 123 competing decks. Holy shit. Going to be brutal this year. Yeah, that's crazy. The league I played in literally had like 20 people and it was brutal, dude. Just going in there every week for like 2 months. I was like, ugh. 123 people. Jeez. Trap the Trespassers. What does that do? Oh, I must already have Trap the Trespassers. Yep. Oh yeah, that was in my video. Do you use Power Conduit in any of your decks? Power Conduit. Yes, funnily enough, this was in my which one was it? My Noctis list, because Noctis returns something with a finality counter on it. So I was originally going to use this to remove the finality counter from stuff, but the fact that it was $5, it didn't quite make the budget. We ended up going with Soul Diviner and Owaka and Fane instead, which can all remove counters as well to like drawless cards and have other effects in case of Fane. But yeah, I like those cards. I like those effects a lot. Can do some really cool stuff with them. Great for Saga Reset. Really good for Saga Reset. Really good for like the new Blight mechanic. Like if you want to just quickly remove some of your Blight stuff, it's really good. There's like a bunch of cool stuff you can do with those remove counter cards. I like those a lot. Okay, moving on to the $30 Powerhouse decks. So these are no longer the $10 Introduce a Friend decks. These are the $30 Powerhouse decks. Is there any last minute additions you think need added to Felithar, Dawn of the Abzan? Give you a second. I'll give you a second. My skateboarding video's turned off. My skateboarding videos are gone. Plead for power. Okay. Reassembling skeleton. I think I have in here. Maybe not. No, I'm using tokens in this deck. Not that's Yeheni that I'm using reassembling skeleton. I'm trying to stay away with using too many overlapping cards. So I think I'm gonna stay away from that because Yeheni is the one that uses the reassembling skeleton effects. This deck uses like token effects to get the 1/1 counters. It is a really good thing though. How much is that vulture you run in Arna? I think that's in here if I'm not mistaken, because I'm pretty sure it's fairly budget. Yeah, Sinkhole Surveyor. Yeah, it's 17 cents. It's such a good card. I love Sinkhole Surveyor. I've got a great skateboarding video suggestion. Halloween Hell Bomb. Can I actually play that? Like, it doesn't have anything like too crazy on it. Because I'll play it. That sounds cool. It was for the Azorius deck list. Oh, reassembling skeleton? Wait, no, that's not possible. What was it? Oh, plea for power. That's why it wasn't coming up. I understand now. It takes me a minute, but I get there. Plea for power. 3 and a blue sorcery. Starting with you, each player votes for time or knowledge. Each time vote takes an extra turn after this one. Each knowledge vote gets to draw 3 cards. Wait. Oh, okay. Not for each. Jeez. If time gets more votes, you take an extra turn. If the other one gets more votes, you draw 3 cards. So it's essentially 3 and a blue to draw 3 cards most games, which we will take. Yeah, the Halloween Hell Bombs are on YouTube. Mazirek is 43 cents. Is he the big insect guy? Because he would be really good. Wait, do I already have him in here? Let me make sure I don't have him. Yeah, I do. Mazirek. So short. So short. And that's coming from a short guy. See if it plays. See if it plays. Okay. Wow. I like Armament Dragon. Three and Obzon, 3/4 flying. When this creature enters, distribute 3 1/1 counters among 1, 2, or 3 target creatures. Sure. Seems good. Nice. Wait. Would Duty Beyond Death work? Is that Rosy Cotton and Brooding Brew Scale? I know it's a Rosy Cotton. Oh, and a Basking Brood Scale it is. Because if it is, there's an infinite combo. Might be worth plugging the deck list into Commander Spellbook to check for accidental combos. I'm okay with that, though. This isn't the $10 introducing. This is like $30 powerhouse. I'm kind of okay with one of them having a little infinite in there. That is a good point, though. I didn't know you could do that with Spellbook, so I'll definitely use that. Steel Hellkite's so cool. Steel Hellkite is so cool. Lethal Throwdown? What the hell? Lethal throw down. We've been live for quite a while, actually. Like 2.5 hours. 2:45 if you want to be specific. Oh, that seems good. Unforgiving one? Unforgiving one. Two in a black, 2/3 menace. When unforgiving one attacks, return target creature card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X the number of modified creatures you control. That seems very good. Didn't know that was a card. It's really, really good. Temperamental. I'm just gonna type in temperamental. I don't know what the hell that is. Three in a green, 4/4, 2 in a green, adapt. Modified creatures have trample. Maybe. We have one that does that already, but that's also not a 4/4 for 4. So that might be useful. W live stream. Appreciate you. You're awesome. W viewer. W friend. W deck helper. W suggestioner. You got Hamza. I don't have Hamza, and that seems fantastic in here. Hamza seems busted in here. But I do got some turkey in the fridge. Got a little roast beefer sitting in the fridge too. Big cost reduction. Yeah, Hamza would make our stuff cheap as dirt. I had a Hamza deck at one point that was an artifact deck where I was just trying to cast everything for free. It's kind of cool. It was kind of cool. All right, next one. Our next one is $30 Powerhouse Magnus. Any other last minute suggestions you guys got for the big old Magnus? I'm gonna point that fan at me. Let me know if you guys can hear this. Can you hear this? Can you hear the fan? Pointing right into the mic. Oh, did you like any of the spree cards that you saw? That was right around the time I left. I did. I liked... Let me scroll down here. There was a couple. I liked Phantom Interference a lot, making a 2/2 and then also being a counterspell. I was like, that seems great. Explosive Derailment. Jeez. Went full dyslexic right there. 1 red. I thought this was pretty good to be able to do 4 damage and blow up an artifact for potentially free. The red is really good to me. And then, yeah, those are the 2 I really liked. The other ones were too expensive for the deck, unfortunately. There were some other ones that were really bangers, but they didn't quite make it because of the budget of the list. You got Hamza. You got Ovika. I do have Ovika. I'm pretty sure. Let me check really quick with my token creation stuff. Ovika. Yes. Ovika. Do you have Ovika? I do. I got an Ovika. How about you? Oh, let me play a beat. I'm gonna play one of my beats really quick. Here comes a new banger. Just a little pop. You make beats? I'm trying to get into that. I do make beats. I used to sell beats. But then everybody made beats, so I stopped making beats. Nice alloy background. Thanks. Also, I know I suggested aristocrats for the Esper list, but now wondering if you would be able to reanimate the artifacts fast enough since you still have to pay to cast them. That's why I still think it works though, because a lot of our stuff is like small artifacts that hit bin. Like, let me go back. Let me check it out again really quick. Or we just need to add more small artifacts that can do that. Because like right now we've got stuff like Mind Stone being able to crack to cycle in and out, Dispeller's Capsule to cycle in and out, Executioner's Capsule to cycle in and out, which all seems pretty good to interact with like the death triggers and ETB triggers with artifacts. But we just need some like more stuff like that. I do agree with that though. I think we probably do need some more of that. I am gonna play another beat though. You know what? Because I'm gonna show and tell. Because I'm gonna show and tell mood. All right. And I have a really hard beat that I want to show you. Ooh, 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 ooh. Inspiring refrain from Magnus. Oh yeah, just a 2-drop, draw 2, coming back every 3 turns. Oh yes. Collector's Vault is one that I love for budget decks and artifact synergies. Ooh, yeah, Collector's Vault would be good in that. Noctis. We got anything else here, boys? Actually, there's one that we haven't really checked out a lot here. Azula. Any more suggestions for the $30 Powerhouse Azula? I didn't realize I didn't have that pulled up that whole time. Oh yeah, the synth sounds choppy because your boy got that chop on it. Because your boy got that every second bar it completely cuts. So I have the original sample for the synth layered on top that's like deep and fills the whole thing, and then I've got a higher pitched one that's playing the same synth, but it's like it's like cutting every other bar. So it gives like a weird like totally like an old school like chopped sample vibe, even though it's just a synth playing. Okay, let me... What did I just close out of? That one? This one? There we go. Is that one? Is this... It's still closed. What the hell am I doing? Let me see if I got one more beat for it. Oh yeah, I slowed down that other one. Which sounded kind of cool. Oh yeah, this was cool. I like this one. Made some. Listening to the new A$AP Rocky album, I was like, I gotta make an A$AP Rocky beat right now. We got anything else, boys, before we hop out? Decks already feel way better. This stream did exactly what I wanted it to do. Every urinary doctor on their best day, dude. That's your stream. No, I'm not lying to you. Sir, your stream is doing exactly what I wanted to do today. Have you looked into the new sneak cards from TMNT? They double with Azula. No, I have not. How does this work? I don't even think I've seen Sneak. This one's hard. Zenny. Would love more surprise streams. I'm glad to help out. Hell yeah. Yeah, this went great. The last time I did a surprise stream, you guys liked it. My brother was really enjoying it. I don't even know what Sneak is. Pay 1 white. You may cast the spell for 1 white. If you also return an unblocked attacker you control to hand during the declare blocker step, he enters the... Oh, so it's just ninjutsu, essentially? Just a new ninjutsu? There's probably some weird, legally distinct difference between it. But yeah, that stuff seems great. I'm not a big TMNT guy, though. But who knows? I might be turned around on it. I might be able to... I might be able to be turned around on that. Ooh, I like that. I like Sneak being on, like, instants and sorceries, too. I think that's sick. Okay, yeah, exactly, Alex. Not just on creatures. Yeah, it's really cool that it's not on creatures. That's sick. Ninjutsu is an alternate cost. Or, sorry, Sneak is an alternate cost. Ninjutsu is an ability. Interesting. I did not realize that legal distinction there. Hey, absolutely love your content. I recently commented on a vid, but is there any chance you'd do a deck build or Taval Arbiter of Virtue? I've considered it a couple times. The only reason I'm weird about it is because my cousin has a Taval deck. So we don't really build the decks that other people have a lot. We try to like stay away from them as much as possible. And I already have a Taval deck, so it'd be weird to have like 2 graveyard Taval decks. But I actually think Taval is definitely like a prime candidate for a power on a budget commander video, or maybe some kind of, I was gonna say unique commander video, but I feel like I've already done something with him on a unique video. I feel like he is more than likely going to be in a future power on a budget video. So that's probably the way that I would end up doing that. And honestly, I probably will, because it is such a strong ability. Ninjutsu but cast. It's super cool. I love that it's on instants and sorceries. Can it be on like anything? Like is there an enchantment with it or anything yet? No. What's this one do? Oh. Oh, okay. So we just printing those now. Hoping for a Last Ronin card in the set, if you know what that is. I do. That's hilarious. Last Ronin's one of the only TMNT things I actually do know, because I was like, this is sick. I was watching someone talk about it. I don't want to like spoil anything, but it is cool. I like that a lot. You reviewed my Taval's Petitioner deck. I did review your Taval's Petitioner deck. Any thoughts on doing the 32 deck challenge at some point? Is that the building a deck for each like color combo? Is that what that is? Or at least going through what you would pick for the 32 and why? I would consider that for sure. That sounds fun. I've just finished a build on him, but I'm not 100% set on it. With Taval? What angle did you go with it? Alex, yeah, Alex. Wizards of the Coast accidentally released all the mythic and rares for TMNT during Lorwyn pre-release. Yeah, our store guy had a big announcement. He's like, you might get a TMNT card. It's like, you're supposed to take it up to me. That's all I'm going to say. We're like, yeah, we got you. Yeah, I'd be definitely down to do that 32 thing if that's what that is. I think that's that deck challenge, like rebuild all the different colors. I don't know if I'd actually do it. I'd probably do more so, like you were saying, a video where I talk about what I would do. This is cool art. I normally am not used to, or don't like modern day looking stuff, but the billboards and stuff on that look really cool. X spells and some recursion for Firelord Azula. Oh, sorry. No, for your Taval deck. I was like, what? Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely do a video for that. I'll start working on that. All right, I think we're gonna bring this live stream home, boys. I think we're gonna bring this live stream back to the homeboys. See what they think about it. Yeah, super good suggestions. I really appreciate that. Found some really interesting commanders from not trying to overlap. Oh, and the 32 deck, I bet that is fair. You end up with like a really refined, like different palette because you're like, oh, I already did that with this guy. That is cool. I'll have to actually think about that and do that. Like Inyaz for Azorius. Three and 2, blue, 4/4 flying, attacking creatures with flying get +1/+1. Whenever 3 or more creatures you control with flying attack, each player gains control of a non-land permanent of your choice controlled by the player to their right. What a weird card. This has so many different magic mechanics stapled into it. It's like left or right, and that mattering. What about swinging with stuff? What about gaining control of stuff? What about all that happening only if you have flyers? What a crazy commander. Nick, what other games do you play? I know you played Risk of Rain some time ago. You seem like a big Halo guy to me. Funnily enough, I wasn't that into Halo. The only time I played Halo was Halo 3 over at my buddy Nate's house. Okay, so growing up, I really liked like Super Monkey Ball. I liked Super Smash Bros. Anything with Super in its name, I was sold. That was like my early days, like GameCubing it up. Right now, I play Arc Raiders sometimes. Love Cyberpunk. You can't like keep me off Cyberpunk right now. I just keep like jumping on there and just running around and fucking with shit. It's just such a fun open world. That's about it right now. Minecraft. I like Minecraft. I go on those little 2-month Minecraft benders all the time. That's pretty much it. I think on my channel I made a post about some of my top games. I had like Super Monkey Ball, Metal Gear, Modern Warfare 2 was like one of my favorite games when I was younger. Loved that thing. Have you watched Edge Runners? Yes, Edge Runners is fantastic. Oh my gosh. Superman 64. I did not play that one. I played Super Mario 64. I didn't play Superman though. Flying Theft Baby. Yeah, Edge Runners was fantastic. I actually might rewatch it. That was like incredibly good. Yeah, everything Cyberpunk has been really good. I'm really excited that there's going to be a season 2 of that. I haven't played the DLC for Cyberpunk yet, so I'm excited that I've got that on my plate still. Yeah, things are looking good on Cyberpunk front. Probably for the best. What, Superman 64? That's probably good. I've heard it's not great. Superman 64 is like one of the worst games ever made. Yeah. I've heard tale of something similar to that. That's funny. All right. Well, dinner is close to being done, and I am close to being hungry, so this is a perfect lineup. Thank you guys for the suggestions. I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys hopping into a stream that had no scheduling at all and actually showing out. I think we hit like 30 people at some point, which is really high for us, so appreciate that. Check out the channel. We got a bunch of good content over there. I've had 3 to 4 people reach out to me at this point and say that they are not getting shown my content, even though they're subscribed to me. So make sure you got the bell hit, and if you want to check out on the uploads on the channel to make sure you haven't missed anything, that would be really appreciated. I didn't think that was a real thing whenever YouTubers said that. I always thought they were lying, but genuinely, people were like, oh, I'm not actually getting shown your videos. I'm like, oh, I actually didn't know that was real. So make sure you got the bell hit and all that stuff. Make sure you're subscribed and all that stuff. And yeah, appreciate y'all. Thanks for stopping by. You really made these decks much better than they were. A peace.